Dreaming about that brand new Subaru? You know which one you want, but have you been able to really drive one yet? Whether you're online at fiestasubaru.com or ready to get out and drive the real thing, our Subarus are sanitized and ready to drive. There's never been a better time to fall in love with your new Subaru. So get driving now at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or online at fiestasubaru.com to schedule.
Just like down.
Now.
It's 7 a.m.
It's 7 a.m. Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico
For 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Yeah, something happened on the way to that perfect league record. Something happened on the way to what happened was what the hell happened? You ever have one of those days, Steph, where you just get up and it doesn't work? You're walking like Candy Cruz, stumbling down the hallway in the morning. You bounce your head off the wall. You try to throw it in the garbage can, it ends on the floor. You're out of gas. You just ever have one of those days? That's what happened yesterday to the Aggies.
That was me this morning.
Yeah, well, welcome to it. At least it's Friday. Good morning. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Glad you're with us on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. How you living?
What'd it do?
A little better than the Aggies this morning?
Just a bit better.
71-46. They lose at Sam Houston State tonight. No matter what the guy in the paper said, too much Aggie talk in a Lower Town. We're getting bread buttered. JJ, 71-46 at Sam Houston State's going to be a tough one to eat.
Worst conference loss of the Christians era.
They had Teddy Allen, who was with us. Was that yesterday? 2 days ago?
Wednesday. Right.
Maybe we should have let him sleep in. 2 points. 2 points for Teddy Allen, who scored 41 in their last outing. Jabari Rice, their other stud, best player, 0 points. They did not have a guy in double figures. At halftime, they were losing 38-18. It got worse. Aggies shot 27.7% from the field. The Bearcats, 53.1%. They were 45% from three-point land with Sam Houston State, and this game was an annihilation. 71-46, the Aggies get run. Now, what does it mean? Well, it means that they're probably not getting this is going to be one that's going to be a hard one to explain, along with the Utah State blowout. Like, two of their three losses were blowouts to teams that aren't going to end up having great net rankings. Now, they got to go to Sam Houston State. Did you see the Sam Houston State the Stephen F. Austin Grand Canyon score?
It was the same exact score.
Same exact score. Stephen F. Austin ran Grand Canyon out of their building. I mean, figure that out. Maybe their league's better than you thought. Maybe those two teams aren't as good as some people thought. But, man, that's a tough night last night in the WAC.
It's a very tough night, and it puts a damper on at-large hopes for New Mexico State. Like, you can't have losses like that. It's not but they're only playing this or that. No, that's just the reality of the schedule for New Mexico State. Watching that game, I was sitting there going, did they swap jerseys?
Seriously.
Because the Bearcats defensively were really good, and when your offense for New Mexico State was mainly Johnny McCann's threes, that's not going to be a good night.
Forget it. Yeah, I mean, honestly, just forget it at that point. Did you watch the whole thing?
Watched the first half intently.
So I kind of forgot. I forgot it started so early, and I got it at halftime. And first I clicked on it. It was an ESPN Plus game, and I got the women's game. I'm like, oh wait, I gotta go find it. And then as I tuned in, it was the score, and I'm like, whoa, well, I must have the women's game. They're down 38-18. This has to be the women's game. And I realized it wasn't, and then I watched the second half, and it was stunning to watch a team that at times has looked so good. The team I watched at Davidson, the team that even the team that played in the pit, the team that played last weekend, they were horrible. They were horrible. Now, they didn't turn the ball over much. It was 10 turnovers. And rebounding, I guess there weren't that many shots to rebound from Sam Houston, but it was 32-32. But, I mean, the shooting percentage was insane. It was insane. And watching the looks that Sam Houston got, and, I mean, I don't know if they're any good, Sam Houston State, or not, or whatever. I mean, they're 11-9, and but I can't tell you anything about them except for they looked like freaking Duke last night.
They got a huge win against Mexico State. They've been eating up the conference schedule that's in front of them. They're
They've won
6-1.
7 out of 8. Yeah.
So they've been handling their business in the WAC. And last night defensively they looked really good. They hit a bunch of 3-point shots. The Texas A&M transfer Savon Flagg
Was terrific.
didn't play in the first half,
Yeah,
and then because of
terrific.
foul trouble, then the second half he came in and played closer to make sure that game was never in doubt for the Bearcats.
22 points for Flag. They had 3 guys in double figures, shot 53+% from the field, and good night now. So Aggie fan, come on in, eat it today, because you just got run out of the building in Huntsville, Texas. 71-46. You got to go to Stephen F. Austin next. Stephen F. Austin just beat Grand Canyon 71-46. Elsewhere in the WAC last night, Utah Valley won. Cal Baptist beat Tarleton on the road, which is a great win for Cal Baptist. Seattle won at Abilene, and Dixie State was a winner at home over Lamar. 505-246-0610. If you want to come in on a Friday and play radio with us, you can. 888-922-0610. Mountain West last night, Boise State at Utah State. The Broncos continue, and they're on a heck of a roll right now. 62-59. They beat Utah State. They got 22 out of Armis, who I think has become just terrific. Did you see his line? 22-19 last night. For a guy who would you tell me? I mean, he's 6'10". It was about 2 weeks ago. You came in and said, when did he become All-America?
No, that was a cot.
Oh, okay, it was a cot.
Yeah,
no,
but
Armis is
all of a sudden you're like, well, who's going to be first-team forwards? Roddy, Robinson, Armis?
Maybe San Diego State will play at some point and throw a couple guys in there. Who knows? But, yeah, Armis is going to be hard to keep out. Broncos have won 11 in a row. They're 14-4. They are in first place in the Mountain West. They are undefeated in the Mountain West. Their last loss was to St. Louis. They lost to Bakersfield. Holy smokes! And St. Louis, and they went on this run, and have not lost since. Gosh, it's been over a month. But they were terrific. They get San Diego State on Saturday. They'll be in San Diego tomorrow. The other game in the Mountain West last night was in Clune, and Air Force won. They beat UNLV 69-62. So the Lobos are the only them and San Jose State are the only two teams without a win in conference play. New Mexico at Wyoming tomorrow. Anything surprise you there? Air Force? A little bit?
A little bit. And it sounded like UNLV took them a little bit lightly. I saw a post-game little snippet from Davion Williams, and he's like, man, they played hard. The back cuts are coming at you. Like, you weren't ready for that?
Did you not see film? Did they?
Y'all don't watch Air Force plays?
Little Kruger not show you film? And
They got him in that first half, and they held on. And Air Force this is a more talented team than they've had in the last few years, and it's shown.
Well, they win last night. So tonight you'll have one game in the Mountain West. Fresno State will be at Nevada, and then Saturday a full slate with the Lobos at Wyoming. San Diego State will host Boise State. UNLV will be home for San Jose State, and Air Force Colorado State will go at each other. 505-246-0610. Come on in today. We got a lot to do on a Friday headed into the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. Bills and Chiefs. There's a ton to talk about. Injury reports came out. We will get into all of that stuff. Bengals-Titans will be your first game tomorrow, which is a game I really like and a game that nobody talks about. But I think that could be as good a game as any of them, although they all should be pretty nice. 49ers-Packers will be your late game on Saturday in Lambeau, and they're talking about like no degrees there too. Jim Garoppolo evidently has never played in a game under 40 degrees.
Wow.
He's never played in one of these
That's
games.
changing.
And he's got a bad thumb. And so, Steph, I want you to imagine it's 0 degrees, maybe a little less with wind chill. You got a really bad thumb, so you can't even grip the football. right? Because the grip. Look at the thumb's pretty important on the football. It's cold. Dudes are hitting you. Your hand hurts. Oh, and you need to quarterback your team and win the game. And big, giant 300-pound dudes are trying to take your head off. So that's what Jim Garoppolo's up against. A beautiful night in Wisconsin tomorrow night for him. Rams-Buccaneers will be the 1 o'clock game on Sunday, and then it'll be the Bills and the Chiefs, the evening game on Sunday night. All of them are pretty good. I'll give you numbers. We'll go through them. Guest list for you. Grant Harvey's going to be with us. We'll talk a little hockey coming up at 9 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, this Lobo hockey team has been a great story locally. They're in the top 10 in their rankings. They're trying to get funds there. They get to nationals in their season. So a lot of good stuff going on. We'll let you know all about it.
All right, so that's coming up at 9 o'clock. It's going to be yours and an open all the way through that. 505-246-0610. We'll get you some French Open updates because the defending champion on one of the sides has been defeated this morning. I'll let you know who and how all that went down, and update you on some of the French Open stuff, which I think is pretty interesting. We got NBA stuff to get through. 505-246-0610 is how to get us. Come on in. We're on ProView Networks. Adrian is producing there, and we're on your radio at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Titus and Tate, a podcast.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm Ben Lucero, president and owner of Indigo Mortgage. We are a locally owned and operated mortgage company right here in New Mexico. This means your loan officers and processors are right here to serve you. Our mortgage divisions include residential, commercial, construction, reverse mortgages, and VA mortgage loan. Indigo Mortgage, because nobody cares more about your mortgage loan.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Dreaming about that brand new Subaru? You know which one you want, but have you been able to really drive one yet? Whether you're online at fiestasubaru.com or ready to get out and drive the real thing, our Subarus are sanitized and ready to drive. There's never been a better time to fall in love with your new Subaru. So get driving now at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or online at fiestasubaru.com to schedule your real test drive.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Lobo basketball tomorrow. They'll be in Laramie. What do you expect tomorrow as the Lobos go back out on the road after what I thought was a really good performance? I got it. They lost at Colorado State the other night. I don't know that you can expect much more than what you got 2 nights ago out of this Lobo team. So what do you expect going into that? Let's go to the phones. 505-246-0610. Jerry, good morning to you. Let's get it started. How are you?
Good morning, my friends. I can't complain. So you all talking NFL playoffs?
Yeah.
Just want to throw some picks out there. So we got Bengals. I think I don't believe in the Titans.
Okay.
I say the hardest one for me to pick is right now Bills and Chiefs.
Yeah.
And I'm going Bills by a hair.
Okay.
Just a hair. And that one totally open to being wrong too. I'm going to say Buccaneers.
Okay.
I think Tom Brady is just going to do it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to go in and say 49ers. Y'all mentioned Jimmy Garoppolo in the cold.
Yeah.
He went to Eastern Michigan, right? Like, the dude's played in
Eastern
and
Illinois.
practices in
Eastern Illinois.
It's the same thing. I'm kidding. Anyways, no, he did play in the cold. And New England. I mean, it's not as dire as you think. And if you're gonna pick a team to not have a guy who can throw, it's gonna be the 49ers.
Okay.
I mean, put Deebo Samuel in at quarterback.
Why not?
Right? No, I'm kidding about that as well.
Why not, though?
I think.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Why not? I imagine. But yes.
And I think I don't know. I think it's a team that depends on the run more than anything, and it's a game that translates well in the cold. And I think the Packers' run defense, their defense overall is something like 25th DVOA, and then the run defense especially is suspect. I think that over the course of the week, I've convinced myself into being hopeful on a 49ers win.
Okay.
I'll certainly open to coming back and eating those words on Monday, but that's where I'm at right now.
Right on, Jerry. No, appreciate it. Enjoy the weekend. Thank you.
Yeah, you too, guys.
All right, so that's the beauty of this weekend, because I think I'm on the other side of 3 out of his 4 picks, and the one that I'm on the same side, he's like, yeah, I could be wrong. I do believe in Tennessee this week. I may not believe in them to go to win the whole thing, but I do believe in them this week. I think that's the most underappreciated, under-respected, really good team. Not great, but I think they're a really good team. I think defensively, I think they're healthy. I think defensively, they're better than people give them credit for. If they get Derrick Henry back, they get an insanely good weapon back. And I trust Ryan Tannehill a little bit. And I know nobody does, and maybe there's not a reason to, but I think they're the most underappreciated, under-respected, underrated team that's been of all the teams in the playoffs, let alone the teams that are left.
They are, just because there's outside of Derrick Henry,
there's no star power.
They're not flashy, and it's a Ryan Tannehill effect. It's like, well, if we're talking about Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. Well, can Ryan Tannehill do it? And then especially with what we're watching, Joe Burrow, and he deserves the recognition that he's gotten. But all Ryan Tannehill has done is his job, and he's very good at it. You look at Ryan Tannehill, he makes plays. He's athletic. He's more than just a dude to get by with. Right. And now that everyone is healthy, A.J. Brown, Julio Jones is going to be on that field. Derrick Henry is going to work with the other running backs that have been good to get them to the number 1 seed. I'm all over Tennessee this weekend.
Yeah, Dante Foreman has been good. McNichols has been efficient. Like they've gotten done what they need to get done, and they won a lot of games without Derrick Henry, who many of you thought should have been the MVP before he got injured. And so I'm on them. The Bills game is interesting. I think everybody's kind of, gosh, this one could go either way. I guess the one I just don't see San Francisco going in there and beating them. Last week there were a couple games I just didn't see. I didn't see the Steelers being able to go to Kansas City. I didn't. I didn't see either 7 seed. I couldn't figure out the Eagles thing. I get it that the 49ers run the football. And I get it that they're physical, and I get it that the Packers' run defense isn't stellar. I also get it that Aaron Rodgers on the other side, I think he's on a mission. And I just think the Packers at home in that cold are better. I think they're just better than the 49ers. And let's see what Jim Garoppolo can do when it's online, because I think at some point he's going to have to make some plays. I don't think they can win that game against that team in that place just by running the ball all day. He's going to have to make some plays.
Yeah, and it's I don't know if the stat was the coldest game Jimmy G started in as an NFL.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Player.
Yeah,
but it's all of it is risk management for Jimmy Garoppolo, and he is successful in those situations. They've done a really good job of game planning Deebo Samuel in. Brandon Ayuk picked it up in the second half of the season. That was because Jimmy Garoppolo was getting him the football. The gigantic X factor. Yeah, it's going to be cold. They're looking at 12-mile-per-hour winds, so it doesn't look like it's going to be like snowing sideways. But it's just going to be really cold, which we just saw Josh Allen say, all right, whatever. It's cold. Cool. I'll still throw 5 touchdown passes. George Kittle. Everyone's Deebo Samuel, the run game. Can Kittle be an X factor for this offense?
Yes. And so he could be the best weapon that's not named Devontae Adams.
Then all of a sudden, the Packers defense going, oh, this Jimmy G guy is getting multiple guys involved and putting some pressure on us.
All right, Jim Garoppolo was not on the injury report. Neither was Fred Warner, which is big for them. Now, Nick Bosa, their big defensive lineman, their stud, evidently is close to being back, but he was questionable. So Warner, with the sprained right ankle, is feeling better. Jim Garoppolo's got the thumb issue. He's got a shoulder issue, but he is going to go. Do you think, if you had a bet somewhere, would you say we will see Trey Lance take a snap in this game? Will Trey Lance get on the field in this game, the backup quarterback for the 49ers? Because I'm going to guess he may at some point. I think just in
that would be a heck of a prop bet.
Well,
goodness.
I mean, over under 1.5 snaps.
I'll take the under.
Or over under a half a snap. You still going under?
Yeah. Did he take a snap last?
No, he didn't. But I'm just thinking, you're running Jim out there. He's already injured with the shoulder and the thumb and the cold, and I think he's going to get hit. I think he's going to get hit a lot. I do. And look, one of the most underrated offensive lines is San Francisco. I think what San Francisco's done up front with their bigs has been phenomenal, and that's where their toughness starts. That's why I firmly believe that's a big reason that they got through the Rams, got into the playoffs, and then got through the Cowboys last week. They ran the football, and for the most part they protected. My gut tells me that at some point they're going to have to throw. They're going to find themselves down 10 points in the second half, and Green Bay is going to come after him. And I'm not telling you I think he gets benched. I'm not telling you that I think there may be a couple of snaps where he's got to go to the sideline and you may see some Trey Lance. Now, what does that mean? I don't know. I mean, I know what people are going to tell you it means. I know what people are going to. Here's the transition, and here's the passing of the torch from Jim Garoppolo to the young Trey Lance, who played in North Dakota where it's really cold. Oh, they have a dome. By the way, are you a cold weather quarterback if you play in North Dakota but you play indoors? If you play in Minnesota but you play indoors, are you a cold weather quarterback?
Someone's pointing out that Jimmy lost a playoff game in a snowstorm. While in college, he says it was about 15 degrees.
In college. Yeah, at Eastern Illinois. Yeah. Same thing, he said. What did Jerry tell me? Illinois, Michigan, same damn thing. Yeah, I understand that he did it in college. I just think he's going to have to make some plays, man. I can't see San Francisco just running it down Green Bay's throat all day, because that means that they're keeping Aaron Rodgers at bay. That means that they're keeping the Packers off the scoreboard. That means that they're able to control the clock and control the game and control the tempo and really take Aaron Rodgers out of this thing. And for the life of me, I just don't see it. Do you?
I don't see that.
Because that's how they're going to run
Rodgers,
That's the only way that you don't at some point have to rely on Jim Garoppolo making some plays. Of every quarterback, and I know he's been to the Super Bowl, and so what are you basing this on? I'm basing this on recency. Of the 8 quarterbacks who are left, if you're telling me one guy's got to make a play, rank them in order of guys you trust down the stretch, I'm going to tell you he's the guy that's 8th on my list out of the 8. You got somebody that you trust less, one of those quarterbacks you trust less to make a play with the game on the line?
Now, Jimmy G is last on everyone's list.
All right. That's all. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Your emails will come in this morning. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. You can come on in, and we can go anywhere with the NFL. We can go with the hoops. Good hoops last night, by the way. Really good hoops. You can get in on any of the stuff we've talked about all week. We're wide open for you as we come in through Friday. Steph's in for A. Marie today. Adrian is in for Adrian today as he's working on the TV side. I want to tell you about International Protective Service. IPS watches and protects my home. They watch and protect businesses and homes throughout the area because crime is on the rise and people find the need for independent security. They offer that, and they are the best at it. I've told you the story during Bowl Week. I was staying in the hotel. My family was staying in the house. My brother somehow left the garage door open overnight, and my phone. So it was Friday night, Saturday morning before the game. I didn't hear my phone buzzing. Called the house phone because IPS came by the house at 2-something, 3-something in the morning and saw our garage door open, and they stood there and waited until my brother came down and closed the garage door. They look out. They protect your home. I go on the road. They watch the house. They will pick up the newspaper, roll the garbage cans to the curb and back. They just they give you that sense of security, and they keep the bad guys away. They're also looking for security officers. If you've got a background in security, military, they are looking for you, and they want you now. You can work for a company who's passionate about stopping crime and protecting homes and businesses and families and making Albuquerque a better place to live. You can call them at 505-897-2420 or visit IPSglobal.com. Fill an application out online. World-class training and work for a wonderful company. International Protective Service. Protect what's important to you. Again, the number is 505-897-2420, 505-897-2420, or visit IPSglobal.com.
I prefer to do stuff online. I can find things much quicker, do the research I need, and have it shipped or waiting for me to pick up. The Shop by Payments option was perfect for me. I got online, clicked on Shop by Payments, put in my down payment and monthly budget, and the guessing was done. From laptop, I was able to nail down the bike I wanted, add a few customizations, and get an estimate on my trade-in.
Hi, I'm Joe with Everguard Roofing and Solar, and I'm proud to say I'm standing next to our University of New Mexico Lobo football quarterback, Terry Wilson. We at Everguard Roofing and Solar are active in our community, and we love the Lobos.
What I love about Everguard Roofing and Solar is their commitment to excellence, and that's what I'm all about. That's why I support this company, because they care about the people of New Mexico.
A hole in your roof or a whole new roof?
Go Lobos!
Everguard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and
needs to be replaced. We're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. There at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
The sports animal.
All right, Russ got benched, but they still wants to win. Phoenix Suns, don't look now. The Phoenix Suns are the best team in the NBA. It's kind of like last year where they may have snuck up on you. But the Suns just completed a 5-game road trip in which they went 5-0. They win 109-101 last night. Indiana, the team who beat the Lakers a couple nights ago, went up to Oakland and beat the Warriors yesterday in overtime. 121-117, a little NBA stuff for you. A lot of Laker talk yesterday. A lot of talk about LeBron's response to reporters. Look, I get that. So do you want to? Did you see it? Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buckets, the opening drive. Do you see LeBron's response to when he was asked how's Russ taking it? Russell Westbrook was benched in the final minutes of the Lakers lost 2 nights ago. They lose the game. Russ left. He didn't speak with reporters. LeBron, wants to talk about everything. He's got an opinion on everything, which is fine. He's the guy. Was asked by a reporter, "How's Russ taking it?" And he kind of thought for a minute, and then he laughed and he said, "Have you followed Russ's career? Have you followed Russ? How do you think he's taking it? How do you think he feels not being in late game?" And he says, "I'm taking my family to the movies. I'm out of here. Like I'm done."
Yeah, I think there's obviously a lot of frustration from everyone. And I think, too, there's moments where even though LeBron does talk about everything, he's saying, this is what Russ has to answer for. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't always want to talk for certain teammates, and I'm okay with that in that regard. Let Russ answer this one.
I'm not going to answer for Russ. Russ will talk about that.
Just, boom, first game he's been benched at the end of it.
I don't think going after, and it's kind of a thing lately, right? People are going after reporters. What was the other one I just saw the other day? It was actually a really good one. Turn the reporter and saying, "How you think he feels?" You watch it, like basically saying, "That's a stupid question." It's not. And honestly, it's not a stupid question. It's not. You're LeBron James. You put this team together. You're the GOAT. You're the king. You're the greatest of all time. How's your teammate feeling? He's not up here. And look, if you don't want to answer for him, I got no problem. You can just say, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to let Russ talk about that." That's that's for Russ to say instead of how do you think he's feeling. I'm taking my family to movies. I don't got time for this crap. I just it's the you've never played the game thing. How do you know? That sort of a thing. And I get it, man. Everybody's frustrated. Frank Vogel answered the question. I put out the best guys, the guys who I thought gave us the best chance to win. Can that be fixed? Can Russell Westbrook somehow get the message, change his role, or because I don't know if that's a permanent thing. I mean, that was a one-game thing where it can be fixed. First of all, I think when you've got your biggest story in L.A., and the Lakers have been this way for 4 decades. As long as I can remember, the Lakers have been drama. And you can go back to Magic and Paul Westhead, right? And you can go back to Kobe and Shaq, and Kobe wants out, and Magic wanted. I mean, it's Lakers, man. It's what the Lakers have always been. And so this is nothing new in Los Angeles, except for almost all the time when there was drama. Like when they were garbage, in the last Kobe years, when there was no drama coming out of there, but nobody cared because they were no good. Almost all the time when there's good drama coming out of there, they win. So you go, yeah, but they win again. Oh, but look at that, they're winning. Oh, but you think they're going to flip the switch. Does anybody think this team's going to flip the switch? You think so when Anthony Davis gets back? I know you think that's the big X factor here.
Well, I think that's going to solve a lot of the questions with Russell Westbrook. Late game scenarios, because you have 2 scorers on the floor,
okay,
and Anthony Davis.
So he doesn't have to be.
And LeBron James, and he doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
And Russ isn't changing who he is overall, but I don't know how it is so bad, because it doesn't, because you watch the Lakers play, and I don't see too much of Russ not playing within the system. Like, there's times that he's going to go iso ball, which every team that has players like that will have possessions of going iso ball. It's just the shooting. Like, you can't take jumpers. He's got to always be going downhill. But he's an athlete. He should be a presence offensively. He should be a presence defensively. And that's the only thing I'm holding out on, is if I'm a Lakers fan and Anthony Davis was cleared for contact this week, so he's been back in practice, is seeing, all right, when you have your 2 superstars back on the floor, how does Russ fit in that dynamic? Because that's all you can do the rest of the way. You're not trading Russell Westbrook right now. Firing Frank Vogel's not fixing that situation.
But that's going to happen.
When those 3 are on the floor, what does it look like?
All right, so that's kind of where I was going with this too. And Russ did speak, and I'll give you some of what he said. When the biggest story every day is your coach didn't get fired, and that's kind of 1A or 1B every day, is it not? It's they lost and Frank Vogel didn't get fired. Or they won and Frank Vogel saved his job. Russell Westbrook's out and Frank Vogel had the okay from Kurt freaking Rambis to sit him down, right? When the lead story every day is your coach didn't get fired, your coach is soon going to get fired.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? I mean, tell me where I'm wrong on this. If we're on coach watch every day, the clock is ticking, right? Now, you can tell me the clock is always ticking when you're a head coach, but the clock is like down, the sands in the hourglass are very, very minute now. There's not a lot left. Russ did speak. They got to Orlando where they're going to start a road trip. He spoke with ESPN, quote, ultimately, you have to be okay when bleep doesn't go well, and I'm okay. I've done everything that's been asked of me here, and I'll continue to do so and ride this out as long as we can toward our ultimate goal, and that's to win a championship. We obviously haven't been fully healthy, but I'm committed to making this thing work. The communication is there with everybody in the organization to make this work, to make this team. We all want to be in the future. I've accepted everything that has been asked of me and tried to do it to the best of my ability. I'm not the ultimate decision maker of it if it's working or if it's not working. I'm okay with sacrificing some things that I've been able to do in this game to win, because that's the most important part of this game. I've done everything they've asked me to do at this point, end quote. Okay. I mean, that's where Russ is. So you wanted to hear from Russ? You didn't want LeBron to talk for him? That's where Russ is.
Well, the next step, Russ, is stop shooting the basketball. Play the game without shooting, because that is a huge drag on that Laker offense. You say, well, then they'll just sag off me. Then drive to the basket. Use your athleticism inside. That solves one thing. Stop taking terrible shots at brick off the backboard all the time. Use your athleticism. Get inside. Open things up then for others in the offense.
You know, it's got to be hard. This is a guy who is... Am I stretching this if I tell you he's one of the best point guards in the last 2 decades of this century? One of the best point guards of the century. You would say him and Steph Curry and Chris Paul, right? Am I missing someone here on point guards?
I don't think he is.
Okay.
Like, I think Russ is.
You don't put him in the Chris
exceptional
Paul
athlete.
Okay, he's an exceptional athlete. Okay.
But I when I'm thinking of that, like, Chris Paul is a different level to me than Russell Westbrook.
Steph Curry and Chris Paul are.
Yeah.
All right. I think Steph Curry is. All right. He's a 9-time All-Star. That one's not debatable, right? He is a former MVP in this league. That also is not debatable, correct?
That is correct.
All right. So when you're a 9-time All-Star, and you can debate where you want to put him on the All-Century team, that's fine. But when you're a former MVP and you get here and you've got to completely change your role, when you've got to completely change what's going on, it's got to be tough, doesn't it?
It does, but at some point, he asks yourself, do you want to win? Like, this is his best opportunity since KD was standing beside him to get something done. As bad as the Lakers have been at times, you get to the playoffs with those three guys, you're going to have a chance.
You're going to have a chance.
You are. And then so he can say all the things about, I'm adjusting, I'm adapting. I don't think Russell Westbrook's a bad teammate. You look at everywhere he's been, like, he's the one that
complains about him.
Stayed in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of the Russ narrative, I think, is wrong just because he's a bad shooter. And then so people look at that and make determinations of his overall game. But Russell Westbrook, like the teammate and player, I'm buying most of that stuff.
I am too. And does he make people around him better? I think most of his career he has.
And for some reason with Russ, I don't know why he's the guy that everyone just goes to, oh, he's the stat pattern. Like, yeah, he didn't win anything by himself in Oklahoma City. Okay. But they just say, oh, it's hollow, the rebounds. And
Nobody won anything by themselves.
A stat pattern.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it weighs down on Russ more so than anyone else.
Because he's got more triple-doubles than anybody in the history of the game, which I just want you to think of what that means. You know, it went back to Oscar Robertson. Okay, that's how far it went back to the early 70s. That's how far what that record went back. That's how far that number went back. I want you brought something up that I think is so lost when you tell the Russ story. He's the guy who stayed in small market, where the LA thing was supposed to happen, 7-8 years ago, right? When he was a free agent. I remember the night, the party he threw, and him and Paul George got together in Oklahoma City, and Russ stayed in Oklahoma City. He's an LA guy, went to UCLA. He was a free agent. I mean, it was done. He was going to LA, and he signed a free agent deal and stayed in small market Oklahoma City to stay there and build something there. And that market, which is, look what's happened now. Are they the worst team in the league right now? One of them, right? They beat the Lakers twice. Russ has been a good guy. Russ has been, from all accounts, a good teammate. That's why this has got to be so tough right now. 505-246-0610. I know there are a lot of Laker fans here. You're watching this thing and thinking, what? Love to hear your thoughts on that. Aggies lose last night 71-46 to Sam Houston. 71-46. Like, how did that go down? We'll get into that as well. Kirtland Federal Credit Union, New Mexico strong since 1958, is your home loan leader. They're built in the heart of Albuquerque, and it is their goal to help New Mexicans achieve the dream of home ownership with the right loans, local expertise, and a relationship built on trust. The Kirtland Federal Credit Union mortgage team is 100% local, and your loan stays local. You'll never send a payment out of state. You have a question? When you reach out to talk to someone about your new home, you will talk to someone right here in Albuquerque. You can meet the Kirtland Federal Credit Union mortgage team, and you can get started at kirtlandfcu.org/home loan center. Kirtland Federal Credit Union is an equal opportunity lender. Membership eligibility is required. You can see a representative for complete details. Take a look at what they've got. They're there for your entire financial needs. Kirtland Federal Credit Union. Visit them at kirtlandfcu.org.
Panera believes in saying yes to the good things. Yes to chicken sausage and pepperoni. Yes.
Next in line. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Dreaming about that brand new Subaru? You know which one you want, but have you been able to really drive one yet? Whether you're online at fiestasubaru.com or ready to get out and drive the real thing, our Subarus are sanitized and ready to drive. There's never been a better time to fall in love with your new Subaru. So get driving now at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or online at fiestasubaru.com to schedule your real test drive.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Dreaming about that brand new Subaru? You know which one you want, but have you been able to really drive one yet? Whether you're online at fiestasubaru.com or ready to get out and drive the real thing, our Subarus are sanitized and ready to drive. There's never been a better time to fall in love with your new
Stop
Subaru.
dying. I guess that ain't gonna happen though, huh? Meatloaf today? Steph, I got a request
So
for some meat.
sad.
Yeah, I got a request for some meatloaf, by the way. It's from Doyd. He says maybe you and Steph Cat can work on some songs into today's OD. It's a little meatloaf today. Yeah, that sucks, huh? 505-246-0610. All right, I got two lines open. Let's go to you. What says you? Hello, Jess. How you living?
Yeah, Jefe. I apologize if I lose you. I am commuting to the Santa this morning.
Beautiful.
But first off, did I hear the Aggies lost?
They got annihilated 71-46, but, really, really good Sam Houston State team.
Oh, that's weird. I've been hearing for the last 3 days about how much better their league is than the Mountain West. But didn't I hear Jerry Palm say that the Mountain West might get 3 teams in?
He said they could. They could also get 1. Yeah.
Oh, well, I hope the Aggies lose every single game going forward, and I hate them. Just had to remind you.
Yeah, not that I forgot.
So, yeah, I mean, sometimes I feel people do.
Yeah, I understand.
Although I will give this, I know Rudy had that very passionate call, but I'll tell you, Jason's email.
Yeah.
If we were the judge on that final argument, I'd have to say Jason won.
He was pretty good, actually.
As a Lobo fan, it really pissed me off. It was really good.
Yeah, it was really good.
So going forward with Green Bay, everything's just lining up in a way this year that's perfect. They're going to be getting 3 of their top players back. David Bakhtiari, who hasn't played all year long, except for I think maybe the first quarter of week 18, which he looked fine. He didn't get beat. He didn't look like his knee was tore up. He looked like the highest paid left tackle in the NFL. They're going to get Jair Alexander back, who's top 5 cornerback. Hasn't been in since, I believe, early October to shore up that pass defense. They're going to get Zadarius Smith back, who hasn't played, I believe, since the first week of the year with back problems. So everything is lining up right now correctly for them. And I just don't see – I know 49ers have just been the Packers' nemesis this basically last 10 to 12 years. And I just can't see Aaron Rodgers losing that 4th time, major time in the playoffs, especially for a guy that grew up loving the 49ers, growing up in California. Little miss they didn't pick him. Still living off that chip on the shoulder. I just can't see it happening. It's lining up too good this year. But I said that last time. But I think it's been a little bit of the roles were a little flipped. I think last time when they played in San Francisco was a much better team, was the better team than Green Bay, where this time I think Green Bay is the better team than San Francisco. I think Jimmy will show up and be Jimmy at one point. And if Green Bay can go up 14, I don't think they look back. And we're seeing a wonderful Green Bay conference game next weekend. I'm hoping Tom Brady loses. I've been hoping it forever, but I think this hopefully will finally be the year. And then the Kansas City game with the Bills is a toss-up for me. I kind of want both teams to win. But I think this might be Josh Allen. I think he's rolling right now. I think that's going to be a great game. And then why not? Let's go Cincinnati. I loved Boomer Esiason growing up. Boomer and Brett Favre were my favorite dudes in the 90s throwing the ball. So I'm going to go Cincinnati. Right. Gentlemen, you have a wonderful weekend, and go Lobos.
See you. That was really good. It was really good. People around Cincinnati, and I get that. I'm with him on the Packers stuff, and I know he's a Packer fan, but I'm with him on all those Packer takes. I just don't see – and there's certain teams that play well against certain teams, right? And the Niners have the Packers number, and they certainly have the Rams number. They play well against the Packers and the Rams. But at some point, I just think the Packers are better.
The 49ers are not winning this game with Jimmy Garoppolo completing 6 passes, like he did last time he won in Lambeau in the postseason on the 49ers Super Bowl run. San Francisco was up 27-0 at halftime in that game. They rushed for over 260 yards. Aaron Rodgers had 2 interceptions. I do not see that happening this weekend, that recipe. That's what it is. It's control the football. Don't put too much on Jimmy Garoppolo. They ain't winning that game that way again.
How much do you make or put into, and you know I believe in this stuff, right? I believe in when the stars align. I believe in the hocus-pocus stuff to some respect. How much you believe that Aaron Rodgers on a scorched earth tour, after all the crap in the offseason, after everything that went down, he's been just this different and look, polarizing. The vaccination has really pissed people off or emboldened people. People have made it political, which is fine. I mean, do what you got to do. that this is kind of scorched earth tour. He's destined to win this thing, and that's it in Green Bay. This is the final chapter, because there's a big part of me that buys into that.
Not so much on that, just because Aaron Rodgers created all that stuff.
Yeah, he did. He did.
He's scorching his own earth, I guess.
Okay.
But whatever he needs to do to be motivated, he's playing fine. I think he's playing with what we expect out of Aaron Rodgers still.
Yeah.
Like he's that dude. And it's more than fine. He can throw great whatever you want to say out there. You know what this is set up for? For Aaron Rodgers to lose at home to the Rams in the NFC Championship game.
See, I just don't see that. But okay, that'd be wonderful. That'd be wonderful.
That's a story we've seen more than a scorched earth tour.
Yeah. All right, coming up, local basketball coach gets into it with local media. You got a team with a bunch of injuries. It's not playing well, and it's not here, by the way. See, this mess happens everywhere. High-profile basketball coach kind of gets into it with local media. Come on, bro. Don't disrespect me like that, bro. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
Jerry. So get driving now at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or online at fiestasubaru.com to schedule your real test drive.
Hi, I'm Joe with Everguard Roofing and Solar, and I'm proud to say I'm standing next to our University of New Mexico Lobo football quarterback, Terry Wilson. We at Everguard Roofing and Solar are active in our community, and we love the Lobos.
What I love about Everguard Roofing and Solar is their commitment to excellence, and that's what I'm all about. That's why I support this company, because they care about the people of New Mexico.
A hole in your roof or a whole new roof?
Go Lobos.
Everguard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I prefer to do stuff online. I can find things much quicker, do the research I need, and have it shipped or waiting for me to pick up. The Shop by Payments option was perfect for me. I got online, clicked on Shop by Payments, put in my down payment and monthly budget, and the guessing was done. From the laptop, I was able to nail down the bike I wanted, add a few customizations, and get an estimate on my trade-in.
Dreaming about that brand new Subaru? You know which one you want, but have you been able to really drive one yet? Whether you're online at fiestasubaru.com or ready to get out and drive the real thing, our Subarus are sanitized and ready to drive. There's never been a better time to fall in love with your new Subaru. So get driving now at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or online at fiestasubaru.com to schedule your real test drive.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today.
Sports Animal. Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. Don't sweat the technique. This is the opening drive with two-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Cindietta, and JJ Buck.
I think it's always interesting. Relationships between coaches, players, and local media. And more so local media because local media tends to be who's there every day. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbiota, JJ Buck. Steph is in for A. Marie. Adrian's producing on ProView Networks. You can watch us over on our Facebook page, the OD and the AM, or go to Comcast Channel 26. So, JJ, you and I have been doing this for a couple of days now. And I've been at a lot of press conferences over the years. And I've watched and been part of one or two. I remember when I asked Fran Fraschilla about Malcolm Battles. Malcolm Battles was a player who was accused, I believe, at the time of domestic violence against his girlfriend, and he was excused from the team within like 11, 12 hours. And there were other players who had been accused of other things, including Malcolm Battles, and the answer was, we're going to let the process play out. And so I asked in a press conference, and I remember going back and listening to it. Did I ask it wrong? I asked, why in this case did you decide to act immediately when in other cases you decided to let the process play out? Is that a fair question?
That is a fair question.
And I remember Fran, and I get it, in retrospect, was so frustrated. And he looked and he's like, "You guys are amazing. You guys are unbelievable. You beat me." And I'm paraphrasing now, but you're all over me if I do it one way, and now you're beating me up. And no, nobody's beating you up. No, simple question. What's the difference this time? So sometimes there's questions. I think the question that was asked LeBron about Russell Westbrook yesterday was a fair question, don't you? Where LeBron's like, laughed, and I'm taking my family to the movies. Right? Yes. All right. Penny Hardaway is the head coach at Memphis. Penny Hardaway has a team that started the season ranked 12th in the nation, got up to number 9 in the nation. They started 4-0. But they're 4-8 in their last 12 games. They've got some injuries. Their top 2 scorers from last year are down. So they're playing some other guys. Now, the guys that they're playing, he started 2 senior guards yesterday. He started 2 juniors in center and on wing. And 2 of the freshmen he started are 5-star prospects. But they lost. They lost again yesterday. It was a 70-62 loss to SMU. And afterwards he was asked, and it's been a few losses in a row. They're 9-8. They're 3-4 in the American Athletic Conference. And look, Memphis isn't unlike Albuquerque in regards to a college basketball city, right? There's high expectations. Hell, they've been to the Final Four. Memphis has. Penny Hardaway played there. They hired Penny Hardaway. They expect a lot there. Okay? So there was a question about, has Penny Hardaway lost faith in his ability to get the job done at Memphis? There's negatives. There's people. There's a lot of people on him. Are you the guy? Can you get this done? This is Penny Hardaway yesterday with the bleep Steph. They're already in The bleeps are in there, but addressing the media yesterday and his relationship where it's gotten with the Memphis media.
I think that one thing I can say to this media, because this media gets kind of up sometimes when it comes to me, we don't have our full roster. Y'all know we don't have our full roster. Stop asking me stupid questions about if I feel like I can do something. If I had my roster like they did, then I feel like I can do whatever I want to do. I'm coaching really hard. My boys are playing really hard. I'm not embarrassed about nothing. We have 4 freshmen starting. Y'all need to act like it. Act like we got 17 to 18 and 19-year-olds out here trying to learn how to play against 22, 23, and 24-year-old guys. Come on, man. Stop disrespecting me, bro. Like, don't do that. I work too hard. I work way too hard for that. Y'all write all these articles about me, and all I do is work. We got young kids on the floor. They got young kids on the floor.
All right. Is that over the line? Because I don't know what the question was exactly. I wanted to hear the whole context. I've been in these rooms, man. I know what frustration is. I mean, we can get to that point around here. Although I think for the most part, the media here is realizing and understanding what Richard Pitino is dealing with, right? But I mean, what's a fair question? And I get to the point, JJ, sometimes. Do we need press conferences before and after every game? Sometimes you do, and sometimes are we talking just to talk?
Well, I think there's a difference in college and the NBA. There's fewer opportunities in college.
Okay.
For media availability, for coaches and players.
All right.
Times. So I don't have a problem with college coaches stepping up there. Stuff every single day, it's going to be magnified, if you're an NBA player.
Yeah.
And so you're going to get more LeBron comments like that than you would expect just over the course of a season. But there's also so many other press conferences that we don't talk about.
Yeah. Most of them. Most of them we don't.
Yeah. So to me, that was a frustrated coach who was
just lost
over the top because he knows the expectations for when he took that job.
Mm-hmm.
It was, this is going to be John Calipari 2.0. We got Penny Hardaway coming in, 5 stars, one and done players. And he hasn't been bad. He's had a winning record his whole time at Memphis, but they're not a Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final 4 team, and that's the expectation.
And there's a team in his league that has been doing what he was brought in to do in Houston. Kelvin Sampson's done it at Houston. And he's doing it in his hometown where he was coaching high school, where he went to, I don't know if he grew up there, but where he went to college, where he's a legend.
And that was the pressure breaking Penny Hardaway in that moment.
Stop disrespecting me, bro. Yeah. All right, 2460610. Hello, Edward.
Well, don't feel bad, Jeff, because 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Well,
Meatloaf, 1977.
I understood
Great
what
song.
you did. Yep.
Great song. And then I'll Do Anything for You, which was a remake when we were in college. That hit number 1 as well. Great performer.
Yep.
Sad loss.
Yep.
I think guys like Penny Hardaway who have reached the pinnacle in the career, not only as a player, but, to take a major coaching job, I think people have a level of pride where they feel they have some content expertise. And when things go awry or not as planned and you get challenged on it, then there's a propensity to say, well, come on, guys, really? I mean, you're not keenly aware of all the variables I'm dealing with. And I think therein lies frustration. The question you asked, do we need press conferences before and after? I would probably say no. But I do think there's an accountability and for people to be able to answer questions on what transpired.
Yeah.
But it's a bit overkill, I believe.
I say this a lot, Edward, and you talk so much, you're going to say stuff that you kind of go, what am I saying, right? I mean, we do it. We got open mic 3 hours a day. It's 15 hours a week. We're just bloviating. But, for a coach, let's say there's 2 games a week. He's doing a pregame and a postgame interview, and he's doing 2 postgame interviews. So that's 6. He does Lobo Talk is 7, and they usually do another one. I mean, these coaches are doing 7, 8 interviews a week. How much do you want them to say? What is it you think you're getting that's new, unique, distinct out of any of these conversations? That's why I've always said, JJ, I prefer to hear from players sometimes, but you need to hear from coaches. And so is it overkill? Now, I'm not looking to limit access. Please don't think that's what I'm saying. And I think after games, you do want thoughts and always want it after games. But, I don't know. Or is that just a frustrated coach who's just going, you guys don't understand, and then the media's going, well, actually, coach, you're not starting 4 freshmen. Starting 2 seniors. Yeah, you got 2 seniors out, but you're starting 2 seniors, 2 juniors, and a 5-star. So
it's crazy. I mean, and you're right. How much new information are you going to get?
Yep.
Real brief. When we were growing up and they did the NFL Today show, it was a 30-minute segment with Brent Musburger and Jimmy the Greek and Irv Cross and Jane Kennedy, I think her name was.
No, it was Phyllis George.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
Or Phyllis George, sorry. And now we watch 7 to 8 hours of pregame, postgame.
Well, on Thursday, you watch that mess on a Wednesday, though, Edward. I mean, it's not even just that. Like you're right. It's overkill. It used to be a half hour before the game on Sunday. We'll watch 8 hours on Tuesday, like on Wednesday. Yeah.
And we'll watch the game again on NFL replay. So it's interesting. Real quick on Westbrook, he should answer the questions. His performance, his not ability, his effort on defense and shooting have been abysmal all year. Abysmal. Doesn't mean he's a bad player, but his effort has been really bad. This weekend's games, this is my favorite weekend, just because of the volume of games, and people will fight and scrap to get to that championship game, the conference championship game, which, by the way, the AFC title game should be renamed the Tom Brady Classic, because he only played in 12 of them, 8 straight.
That's all.
Let's start in the AFC real quick. I think that the Chiefs have a finesse defense. What they've been able to do is get leads on teams and play downhill, rush the passer. No. But if you challenge their secondary, and they're a little light in the loafers at linebacker, even though they have a good rookie, I think Buffalo's going to beat them.
Okay.
I think they're going to pound the ball on them. I think they're going to use Josh Allen as a runner, and I think they're going to win a pretty close game up in Kansas City.
All right.
The other AFC title game, I think former New England Patriot coach who caught 2 touchdowns in Super Bowls.
Yep.
I think the Titans are going to take care of Cincinnati, even though I really like Cincinnati.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Like Jeff says, I wish both teams could win. I think you're going to be happy, Jeff. I think the Rams are going to upset the Buccaneers. When Tristan Wirfs, as a rookie, gave up only 1 holding penalty and 1 sack in his rookie year, he's the best offensive lineman in the game. That injury is way too much to overcome. He's an All-Pro this year. When he got hurt last weekend, I just think it's going to be too much. And just pay attention this weekend. The Rams are going to run that play action where they fake right and then throw back left to Tyler Higbee, that tight end screen. They'll run it 3 or 4 times that ball and burn them every time. I think that's going to win the game for them. And then I think the Packers are going to take care of the 49ers. I think Rodgers is on a scorched earth tour, and they're going to get to the Super Bowl this year and probably win it.
Damn,
so
it scares me that you and I are on the same. We're 4 for 4. We're lock stock on our picks. It scares me a little bit.
Well, you are Jeff Edward Symbieta.
That's right.
So,
all right, man. Enjoy the weekend.
Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the games.
See you. Kevin, stay there. I want to hit you as soon as we get back. We got to take this break, and we're back to the phones. 9 o'clock. Grant Harvey, the head coach of Lobo Hockey, who is really, really good, by the way, is going to be with us. So stick with us, and I think you'll enjoy that. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal and ProView Networks.
Hey, parents, good news. Kids ages 5 to 11.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
I'm Ben Lucero, president and owner of Indigo Mortgage. We are a locally owned and operated mortgage company right here in New Mexico. This means your loan officers and processors are right here to serve you. Our mortgage divisions include residential, commercial, construction, reverse mortgages, and VA mortgage loan. Indigo Mortgage, because nobody cares more about your mortgage loan.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos,
and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green. And keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Dreaming about that brand new Subaru? You know which one you want, but have you been able to really drive one yet? Whether you're online at fiestasubaru.com or ready to get out and drive the real thing, our Subarus are sanitized and ready to drive. There's never been a better time to fall in love with your new Subaru. So get driving now at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or online at fiestasubaru.com to schedule your real test drive.
Hi, I'm Joe with Everguard Roofing and Solar, and I'm proud to say I'm standing next to our University of New Mexico Lobo football quarterback, Terry Wilson. We at Everguard Roofing and Solar are active in our community, and we love the Lobos.
What I love about Everguard Roofing and Solar is their commitment to excellence, and that's what I'm all about. That's why I support this company, because they care about the people of New Mexico.
A hole in your roof or a whole new roof?
Go Lobos!
Everguard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You trusted your homer. I see what you're doing. Got to hook you up with Ralph, by the way. JJ will be in San Diego and Vegas next week, in reverse order. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, 505-246-0610.
A ride Friday.
All right.
Get to the beach.
I'll work on that. Maybe get you a little surf report, get you on a board. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin, good morning. Thanks for holding. What's happening?
Thanks for taking the call. You know something, as far as asking Richard Pitino about this, much ado about nothing. Much ado about nothing. Even Lobo fans, why are you even paying attention? When is the last time this team won a game that was important in the NCAA tournament and went on to the Sweet 16 or any?
Well, I mean, the answer is they've never been to the Sweet 16.
Thank you. So why all this thing? Why all this call-in shows? Is there even, I would like to find out, is there a call-in show after the Lobo men's basketball game?
There is not anymore, no.
Thank you. Why? It's much ado about nothing.
I don't know if that's right. I mean, do you have to have a history of going to the Sweet 16 for people to care, for it to matter, for it to be important? I mean, if it matters to the people of this community, if Lobo, and it does, by the way, Kev, like Lobo basketball is something that matters. You're not wrong that they haven't won a game that matters in the tournament in a while. You're not wrong that they've not been to the Sweet 16. But I would argue that you're wrong when you say it doesn't matter. It matters quite a bit to the people who are passionate and who are fans and that can't wait till that day happens.
Okay, you ever heard the old saying, a watched pot never boils?
Yeah.
I'll sit there, Steve Alford.
Yeah.
Steve Alford. This is exactly why he didn't want his son to go through this. And Craig Neal's son went through this too, because of this micromanaging. It even goes into politics sometimes.
It does.
I heard somebody, Fran Fraschilla, say something about the Air Force, and a guy gets on the radio and sits there and says, he's disparaged the Air Force Academy.
That's right. That happened. And actually, Steve's son was going to go here until Steve went to UCLA. Bryce was going to play here until Steve took the job at UCLA, and he went with him.
And what are we talking about here? If you want to get a coach that gets you over there, we also need to talk about a salary. Do we have a competitive salary for anybody to get us to that level?
You have a competitive salary within your league. Within your peer institutions, you're competitive.
It's one of the reasons why Utah went over there to the Pac-12. They got an immediately $13 million bump up from the Rose Bowl and everything else like that. San Diego State seems to do it. Colorado State seems to have good coaches. Wyoming seems to have good coaches. Why do we not seem to be able to get that one coach who puts an infrastructure scrappy and all this other stuff like that.
So have you already, Kev? Have you already passed judgment? Because I think you get a pretty good coach. Have you passed judgment on Richard already this year?
No, leave him alone and let him do his job.
Yes.
Leave him alone and let him do his job.
100%. All right, we're on the same page. All right, man. Appreciate you. Thanks,
you.
Kevin. Because at first it sounded like he was like, why can't we get a good coach? I think Richard Pitino's got the potential to be that guy. Don't you? I mean, to his point, let this man do his job. If you're going to judge Richard Pitino on what happened this year, I think, and I don't know that there are many of you who are, and that's where I thought he was going initially. I think you would be incredibly erroneous. What?
Whew. You were good on your points of collegiate sports matter to this community. Lobo basketball matters because they haven't had the success that people hope for, the level of investment this fan base has. Doesn't mean that we're not going to talk about it throughout the week.
No.
The broadcasts aren't going to be about it. No, I do think that, hey, I lived it. This community did go through a downturn with how much they were invested. Because I was sitting there in the middle of the night. No one wanted to talk Lobo basketball. Like it happened.
JJ was doing those post-game shows.
Maybe it was just me, actually, and I tanked it.
Stigler had it before you were doing it, and it was especially those West Coast games, right? So you would have a 9 o'clock start. It would end at 11:15. The post-game show would end at midnight, and you're there till 1:30 in the morning in an empty establishment trying to get phone calls, and it was Lance and you. Right? And it's hard. But so I don't know that you judge passion on who's calling after a loss to San Diego State at 1 o'clock on a Wednesday night.
No. But I think overall there's still a strong commitment to collegiate athletics.
So I did get the opportunity to work with Trujillo, at night.
Yeah, you were doing those late shows.
We did get, a chance to do a couple of midnight people calling, talking about the game.
How were those phone calls?
They were really good.
Good.
Because they were all worked up about what had just happened. They were letting us know, that was fun to do that.
That's the beauty of those after game shows is people are still fired up. They maybe have a couple in them. That's got them a little bit more fired up.
Exactly. And I think there was a time where he even called up somebody because people were so passionate he needed to get whatever. I think it was whenever they were stomping on the logo.
Oh, after that Lobo Aggie game.
Yes, that was a good night for calls.
Night. I'll bet it was a good night. Was that a Saturday night? No, it couldn't have been.
No, that was a weeknight.
That was a Monday night. That was a
Monday
night. Yes, that was that was over on KKOB, and then you guys got the post game on that.
Exactly.
See, that's beautiful.
So those were fun.
Yeah. To Kevin's point, look, put it in perspective in some respect, but I would argue all day with you to say it doesn't matter. I mean, no, it matters. What does that mean? It matters in the realm of local sports. It matters in the realm of people's passion. If for those people who go to the pit, for those of you who are Lobo fan, it matters. And I think it probably bothers you to, when someone says it doesn't matter. Does it matter on the national scale right now? Honestly, he's right. It probably doesn't matter on the national scale. You're not registering there yet. Have you ever been to the Sweet 16? No. When was the last time you won a big game in the tournament? It's been a minute. But that doesn't mean it doesn't matter. I think we need to associate, or associate's not the right word, separate those two things where both can be true. Yes, they've not been to the Sweet 16, but it still matters. And when I talk to Lobo fan, when I go to events, like you know what, if you have a chance to go to an event tonight, and I've been to these events for the last, Lord knows how many years. The first pitch dinner is tonight for Lobo Baseball. Steve Garvey's in town. He's going to be the speaker at the baseball kickoff dinner. It's a big fundraiser. Todd Brown's first time to really get in front of Lobo baseball supporters. They will sell out that room. They've done a great job at that dinner. And you'll go into that and go, gosh, nobody cares about Lobo baseball, right? And then you sit in that room tonight, you're going to go, damn, it kind of matters to these people. It really bleeping matters. You go to one of these events It matters. And so, Kevin, I hear your point and I hear your frustration. What are we doing? Well, what we're doing is sports. I mean, what we're doing is that's what sports is. That's why people
He mad at us?
watch
Was he
games.
mad at the
No, I don't know.
coaches show?
It sounded like he was frustrated. I don't know who he was mad at. It was like almost a bubbling that why do we put so much into it? Because in his words, it doesn't matter. And my response would be kind of does. I ask this question all the time, and I don't care what state it is, and I don't care if it's 100,000 plus in Michigan or 20,000 in New Mexico. Where are your biggest crowds in each state every year? Is it as a concert? Is it a political rally? Or is it a sporting event? Am I 99% right that it's a sporting event? Kind of seems like it matters. Where are your biggest assemblies of people who are passionate, who are screaming, who are painting their faces, the concerts are big deals. Yeah, they are. But 98, 99% of the time, your biggest gathering of people each year in pick your state is a sporting event. So it kind of matters. Now, you better keep it in perspective in your life how much it matters. That's kind of on you. How is it going to? If your team wins or loses, is it going to drive your mood the next day? Is it going to drive your life? Is it going to drive how you feel about yourself? I mean, some people go a little overboard. But Kevin, yeah, I kind of argue with you. It matters a little bit.
I'm right there with you.
Watch football this weekend. Watch people sitting in Green Bay, Wisconsin when they got no degrees. 0 degrees on a night game. And them screaming with cheese on their head. Well, Jeff, they've won a game that matters. They've been to the playoffs. They've won a Super. Yeah. Matters to them, though. You know where they haven't won anything in a long time was Buffalo. Did you watch them last week? It was colder than a pimp's heart there, too. And those people were out there in full force and packed that place. It kind of mattered to them. They hadn't won it. When was the last time the Bills won anything? Before last week. What was the last game that they won that mattered? Kind of mattered to them, too. Keep it in perspective. I'm not telling you it's life and death. I'm not telling you it's, unless you're betting too much, is it putting food on your table. But to the people who are playing, it's their livelihood. It matters to them. Yeah, it's just a game. To you and to me, it should be just a game. But the people who are playing, it's their livelihood. But makes you feel good. Isn't that why we watch the games? Isn't that why sports is a multi-billion-dollar industry?
Right. You figure people are buying more sports paraphernalia, like clothing, hats, decals for their cars, mugs, more than political
anything.
Jason Aldean or anything. You know, they paint their faces to go,
Go to any town in USA. Go to any town USA. I don't care if it's your high school team, your pro team, your college team. Like, you may see a Taylor Swift T-shirt run around your teenage girl's house, like I do. Or an AJR or All Time Low or whatever. Yeah. Music's great. Music doesn't unite communities, does it? I mean, it does maybe for a day.
And almost sometimes families, because sometimes you don't agree on a lot of things in your family, but you can agree on football, or you can argue on football. Like, sports brings people together.
Steph, I can't agree with you more. Right? What do you do? Like, everybody gathers around Thanksgiving, you eat turkey, and if you're a Cowboy family, you watch that mess, right? Addie and I got a picture. There was a game. I got a picture where the Dodgers were in the World Series and the Rams were playing the Niners on Sunday Night Football or something. Split screen on my TV, and she came down wearing her Rams shirt and her Dodger hat, and I had to go put on my. I'm like, well, and I'm going to too. And we sat around and watched the Rams and the Dodgers, right? Kind of matters. Keep it in perspective. You want to do the post-game show?
Not available show anymore for that.
Is Trulio available for that? Can you guys get a post-game show going? All right, we're going to talk Lobo hockey at 9 o'clock. Grant Harvey's going to be with us, 505-246-0610. Glad you're here on a Friday morning on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
When looking for the best experience while buying an all-new Kia, Fiesta Kia offers some of the most knowledgeable and friendly Kia specialists in New Mexico. They'll help you find the Kia that will meet all your expectations. Kias have some of the most affordable vehicles for you to choose from, offering extensive options and style for the price. And with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, Kia won't be beat. Come be a part of the Fiesta family today, 7400 Lomas Boulevard Northeast, or start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Dreaming about that brand new Subaru? You know which one you want, but have you been able to really drive one yet? Whether you're online at fiestasubaru.com or ready to get out and drive the real thing, our Subarus are sanitized and ready to drive. There's never been a better time to fall in love with your new Subaru. So get driving now at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or online at fiestasubaru.com to schedule your real test drive.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
the energy lands.
One home for Rome. The Jim Rome Show is up next at 10, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports
Look at how
Animal.
smooth that transition was. JJ, you hear that?
I heard it.
Give me a hoe if you got your funky bus fare. Bus coming down the street, moving pretty fast, so kinda shuffle your feet. Get on the bus, pay your fare, then tell the driver that you're going to a double Dutcher fare. Beat my boom, well I'm gone. Here it comes, the double Dutcher bus is on the street. You better get off the curb, move your bus fare, trans pass. That's the way my money makes it go along. Get ready.
Friday.
Man, that was a good one, guys.
Lung capacity.
Go.
All right. Happy Friday now, finally. That means it's Friday. Bill, I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but hopefully you hoed there while you were on hold. And thank you for staying on hold during the hoe. Hello, Bill.
Hello, how are you guys doing today?
Good. How you living? Oh, I got a headache now. What's up?
Doing all right. That was a fantastic. I mean, that was very impressive. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. It matters.
No, I was just going to call in and comment on the guy who was a little bit miffed at Lobo everything. So, I mean, I grew up in a small town, East Texas. We've never won the state championship, but those stands are packed every Friday night. They have a huge following out of town. You can't always win. You know, you can't pull for the winners all the time, unless you have a closet full of 32 jackets from the NFL or whatever, and you just change each one each year.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Patriots.
There's a bunch of bandwagon jumpers that like to do that, but not everybody can pull for the winners.
Yeah, that's good. Mattered to you, Bill. Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right.
Let me get you this email because it says it matters, and JJ, it matters in different ways, right? But Dean says, "Good morning. It matters up north." As far as Lobo basketball, I can't tell you how many times I sat in a cold pickup truck listening to Lobo basketball at night, the Mike Roberts days, because of no inside radio frequency or cell phone service. Sports brings a few of us together to drink a few cold ones and become basketball coaches around the hood of a truck. It matters. It matters. It matters, he says. Ray, does it matter to you? What's up?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, Ray?
Yeah, it matters to me. That's what they need. That's what the community needs, and that's what they want. So why not do it? But hey, on my picks this week, I'm going Green Bay, Rams, Tennessee, and Buffalo.
Yeah, we're lock stock.
And then New Mexico State. New Mexico State fans, I think what they got last night, that's going to be a rude awakening. They're going to be in a conference next year. And there's no way they could play with Alabama, Birmingham, and a few of those teams that if they were in that conference now, that would be a cupcake league like the WAC. So they better enjoy it while they can because they'll not be playing these easy teams coming next year. Or the year after.
Yeah, thanks, Ray. Sam Houston's going with him. UAB's not going to be in that league. And look, I think that was an off night. I don't think last night's indicative of who New Mexico State is, but they got run. Grand Canyon got run last night in that league as well. It's funny he brings up New Mexico State because it matters, and it matters, JJ, how you perceive it, does it not?
Yes.
So, Steph, we have done this show we have been New Mexico Mornings for 13 and a half years. And I've been in this market for 25 plus years. And I've learned early that there are more New Mexico State alumni in Bernalillo County than there are anywhere in the state. There's people who it matters to them. New Mexico State is now we do more Lobo stuff than we do Aggie stuff, but we probably do more Aggie coverage than any other outlet, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
All right. Whether that's right, whether that's wrong. And perception is insane. So there's somebody who identifies themselves as a Lobo Town resident in the paper this morning in a letter to the editor of the Sports Speak Up, who congratulated Jeff Grammer, as we did, winning Sports Writer of the Year, and kind of said, Symbieta, like I do an okay job, but hit me for stating on my show. He says I stated on his show, it's our show, that he says, I don't want to hear from Lobo fans that officiating cost them games, which I've said that, and that I'm wrong, which we'll get to that. And he said there's too much New Mexico State Aggie time here in Lobo Town, which is where the bread is buttered. Okay. JJ, you said New Mexico State basketball posted our Teddy Allen interview. Teddy Allen is the guy who scored 41 points for them in basketball. He was on our show two days ago on Wednesday, right? And one of the responses on social media was what?
Oh, now they want to talk Aggie basketball. All I ever hear is how much better UNM is than NMSU. 95.9 and 610 sports broadcasters are jokes.
Isn't that funny? So
I feel pretty good about that because that feels like we're covering the bases.
Yeah. So we cover the base. We cover too much or we don't cover enough. we talk too much Aggie stuff or we don't talk nearly enough Aggie stuff. So it's really a perception, and it matters to that guy who called us a joke, and it matters to this guy who called me whatever he called me, that I'm wrong. But it matters, and it's how you hear the same thing. And it's the filter through which you are hearing it, right? Through which you consume it. But it matters. So thank you to the guy who ripped us on whatever, what was that, on the tweeter on the Aggies post, right? And thank you to Lobo Town resident who ripped me because there's way too much Aggie time. And on the thing where I said, I don't want to hear that officiating costs you games. I hear it every damn game. I don't. Did I ever say I don't want to hear that officiating costs you games? I said I don't believe it in most of those situations. Did I ever say I just don't want to hear it ever again that officiating costs? I mean, you hear what you want to hear, don't you? Steph, it's amazing. I mean, we can pull up the recordings. But thanks to both of them. And we're going to probably continue to do it the way we do it, by the way.
As long as they're mentioning us in their mouths, and that's fine.
We're probably going to continue to do it the way we do it. But it is amazing how you can, it's wherever it is you're coming from.
And there's a difference between hosts and listeners' opinions on things.
Meaning
I don't know what segment that one Facebook commenter happened to hear to say all the broadcasters do to say how much better UNM is.
Yeah, because these broadcasters right here, with all due respect, we may talk a lot more Lobos than we do Aggies. And we may talk too much Aggies for some people. Mm-hmm. But I don't know that we've sat here and said how much better the Lobos are than the Aggies in basketball. I mean, I don't know that you and I have ever said.
I think the problem is now.
At least you spelled my name right.
We might be.
What?
I don't know if we're going to get any Aggie player interviews for a while.
Why? Because he went out and scored 2 points the day after? He got up too damn early?
Messed up his sleep schedule.
He went from 41 to 2, and it's our fault? All right. I mean,
of the opening drive.
Now, we've had plenty of those guys come on and go out and kill it the next day. Over the years.
It's the ones that don't.
Yeah.
The ones that don't.
All right, 505-246-0610. The emails are coming in, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. New year, new you? How about new year, old you? Huh. That'd be great, wouldn't it? It can be great. Guys, if you're dealing with some very natural things like being tired too often, maybe you put on a few too many pounds, or even erectile dysfunction, then yes, it'd be really cool to reclaim the old you, wouldn't it be? You can do that. Call NewMail at 505-652-1688 or visit NewMail, NUMALE.com. That's what NewMail does. They take care of these things for guys all over the country with industry-leading, cutting-edge testosterone replacement. As you age, there's a very real chance that you're going to be affected by these things. There's nothing to be ashamed of, and feeling like you again could be as close as a phone call and an appointment. Call and make that appointment. 505-652-1688. That's 505-652-1688. NewMail is right here in Albuquerque. The process is comfortable. It's easy. And guys, what's really important, it works. The results are real, and men everywhere are benefiting from it. Take care of you, gentlemen. Call NewMail at 505-652-1688. That's 505-652-1688, or visit newmail.com and feel better.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Dreaming about that brand new Subaru? You know which one you want, but have you been able to really drive one yet? Whether you're online at fiestasubaru.com or ready to get out and drive the real thing, our Subarus are sanitized and ready to drive. There's never been a better time to fall in love with your new Subaru. So get driving now at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or online at fiestasubaru.com to schedule your real test drive.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Dreaming about that brand new Subaru? You know which one you want, but have you been able to really drive one yet? Whether you're online at fiestasubaru.com or ready to get out and drive the real thing, our Subarus are sanitized and ready to drive. There's never been a better time to fall in love with your new Subaru. So get driving now at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or online at fiestasubaru.com to schedule your real test drive.
sports animal.
All right. Steph Cat's on fire, it says. That was from Lobo Hobo. He said, how much have Steph Cat's hose improved since that first one with Bobcat? I mean, you've come a long way.
Thank you.
You've come a long way. I almost expected A-Marie, by the way, to call in and just
That transition was fantastic.
Yeah, it was really smooth. Really, really. That was actually an upgrade. That was good. Opening drive, 505-246-0610. She put the hammer to the hoe today, Jeff. That's in Bad Street. See? You impressed a lot of people with that hoe. Hello, Rudy. How you living?
Oh, just waiting for a negative COVID test.
Good luck to you on that. Keep waiting.
Yeah.
All right.
So, you have symptoms, and then 2 people contact you and say they tested positive. So you go try finding the test, and you find one, but you got to send it off and wait for the results. So meanwhile, I'm in limbo, but I don't feel that bad. So, in the interest of protecting other people, I'm just hanging out by myself. But
good move.
I did watch a lot of basketball last night, and I watched with particular interest the Memphis SMU game because some people were upset when UNM didn't beat SMU at home. SMU could be as good as anybody in that conference and maybe better. They're right. I think they're going to give Houston all they want when they play them.
Yep. Well,
meanwhile, back at the ranch, you get a snarky guy continuing to send messages via text to you about the state of UNM's program. And last night, I actually wanted to get to a casino and lay a bet on that one because I didn't think that New Mexico State would cover, and boy, was I right.
What was the spread
not only
going
did
in?
they not cover. 46 points.
What was the spread? No, what were they favored by?
I think they were favored by 8.5.
And they they were down by 33, 34 at some point.
71-46 was the final.
That's 25 points.
Yeah, and they were down by 35 at one point. Right. And, I think it just goes to show that there's a lot of unknowns in basketball now because of COVID, because of transfer portal, because of this, because of that. And some nights you get the Bear, and some nights the Bear gets you. And last night the Bear got New Mexico State. So they're no longer undefeated, and they're no longer the kings of the WAC. So, Jason, you can hang out in your basement and figure out some snarky thing to say about Lobo fans. Meanwhile, somebody took a shot at you, Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
This is Lobo Town. Don't ever forget that, Jeff.
Don't forget. No, I was just saying, Rudy. So
you remember that?
They said we talk too much Aggies, and then on the Aggie thing, they said those guys never talk about the Aggies. Now they want to talk about them. Those guys were a joke. So it's all perspective. Either you talk too much, or you don't talk enough, or whatever.
Love it.
And we're going to continue to do it the way we've done it for the last 13 and a half years.
Here's the deal. It's sports, guys. Yeah. Relax. And everybody has to have. If you want to talk sports, you have to grow a thicker skin, right, Jeff?
Look, man, if I crumble every time someone took a shot at me, I'd be a pile of dust a long time ago.
Exactly, and so people have their teams, and they're loyal to their teams. And sometimes your team stumbles, and sometimes your team falls. My final thoughts are: I think you can see how good a coaching staff Richard Pitino has assembled, because the last 2 games they've had shots to win. And they've had chances to win. And you have to have that before you win. Now they just have to get that final piece of the puzzle. Is this year a throwaway? Absolutely not. He's coaching for the future, and that's what I like. Finally, I hope I do get a negative test because I sure would like to see that Fresno State-New Mexico women's game Saturday in person. I think that's going to be one of the top women's games in the West, going forward. And I fell asleep, so I didn't get the final score, but I assume Gonzaga finally got San Francisco.
Yeah, they beat them by 16, which I think was right on the number. Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, those guys in Vegas, man, they have it all figured out, don't they?
They're pretty damn
Every once
good.
in a while, they miss. I don't think anybody saw the New Mexico State game coming, but it's a big weekend of sports. If you're an NFL fan, here you go again. You can sit in front of the TV and you can see game after game and root for your team or root for the team you hate and love to hate. Either way, everybody enjoy your weekend and don't take it so seriously. This is just sports.
It matters.
Penny Hardaway is a little burn around the edges today too.
I don't blame
so.
you. All right. See you.
Just a little. Take care. Have a nice weekend.
All right, and I hope you feel better.
It's all about balance and understanding things.
It's like everything else, man. It should enhance your life. It shouldn't run it. Right? I mean, what do you do for enjoyment? I watch games. I run. I play tennis. I play golf. I paint. I act. What do you do?
You want to throw me off the rocker? Start talking about shoes, and I'll lose my mind. Things happen.
Will you?
Yeah. The kids in them shoes.
Damn kids in those shoes. You know, Steph, when players wear different colored shoes, oh. We had a guy calling the other day. That was suggesting I was one of the damn kids today. That's why the teams aren't together. And I know John's out there and he's going, "No, you're taking it out of context again. Damn it, you don't understand what I'm saying with the shoes." It's kind of somewhat metaphorical, but JJ loses his mind with that stuff. What if he wore different color skates? Like when you play hockey, do you all have to wear the same skates? Does anybody wear anything but black skates? Like, could you personalize your skates?
Well, our next guest could answer that question.
Coming up next, Grant Harvey is going to be with us. Grant is the head coach of a very, very accomplished Lobo hockey team that plays tonight against Northern Arizona. That is one of the best teams in the country. And, I mean, you're looking for success and a roster full of New Mexico kids? We're going to talk Lobo hockey when we come back. It's the opening drive. Steph's in for A. Marie. Adrian's producing on the TV side. I'm merely Jeff Symbieta, sitting next to JJ Buck on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Dreaming about that brand new Subaru? You know which one you want, but have you been able to really drive one yet? Whether you're online at fiestasubaru.com or ready to get out and drive the real thing, our Subarus are sanitized and ready to drive. There's never been a better time to fall in love with your new Subaru. So get driving now at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or online at fiestasubaru.com to schedule your real test drive.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm Ben Lucero, president and owner of Indigo Mortgage. We are a locally owned and operated mortgage company right here in New Mexico. This means your loan officers and processors are right here to serve you. Our mortgage divisions include residential, commercial, construction, reverse mortgages, and VA mortgage loan. Indigo Mortgage, because nobody cares more about your mortgage loan.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments.
Well, you're looking for a winner that's got a roster comprised of a lot of local talent, winning at a great level, representing and rebranding this place, Albuquerque. I got one for you. We got one for you. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Lobo hockey is on a roll right now. UNM men's hockey ranks 4th in the ACHA standings. There's only 4 games left in the regular season. They are 22-2 after an 11-0 victory over Northern Arizona last week. They're on the road to go and play tonight and tomorrow in Flagstaff. Come back and close out the regular season schedule next week at the Outpost against Dallas Baptist. The head coach of Lobo hockey is Grant Harvey. He joins us this morning on the opening drive on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Good morning, Grant. How you living?
I'm doing good. Thanks. That was quite a prefacing. I love that.
All right. Well, hopefully the prefacing was accurate. And did you guys the service that you deserve, because the season has been spectacular? Did you know going in that this team was going to be this good?
Yeah. So I really did. My father's just a green card Canadian, right? No hockey in and out. He goes, Grant, aren't you kind of overselling this team? And I go, hey, well, hang on, Dad. I wouldn't do this for nothing, because we had great scrimmages over the summer and I had heavy recruiting. So it's lived up to my expectations and even my father's.
I mean, and he knows. You know, I'm looking at this roster, and yeah, you got guys from Hungary and Italy and Minnesota, and your leading scorers from Minnesota, but there's 13 New Mexico kids, whether it's Los Alamos or the Albuquerque, Rio Rancho Corrales area. I don't know that a lot of people realize, how good the youth hockey movement has been here over the last few years, and that there was this level of talent here in New Mexico.
Right. You can really thank the former Scorpions for the level of youth hockey that's come up. Some of them, after their tenure here, became coaches. Some joined the fire department. So there's been some Canadian coach influence here. And so this is where we get this new crop of great players, and it's just going to keep coming.
Grant, how did you get involved with Lobo hockey, become the head coach of this team, and what's the process been like for you getting a squad like this to this point?
I was a former captain, and with UNM hockey, it's been on fumes. It's been on fumes a couple of times because it's just poorly funded, and it's hard to keep a team together, and sometimes your recruiting class had like 3 people, and you just try to think, hang on, if we could just get to the next recruiting class, we're going to be okay. So that's how I just became the coach naturally after the program became my baby.
And with all that you've put into it, how have you been able to generate the interest from the players and the level of commitment that they have to have, their investment of it to get to a point where you were able to keep those players around, and now you have the talent to be doing something on a big stage?
I think the winning has to start, and UNM had to become a desirable place to play hockey. No one wanted to lend themselves to 4 or 5 years if it was just a mediocre program. So luckily, the winning perpetuated the winning, and then that made recruiting a lot easier when people could see themselves in the Lobo and look in the stands and see the adoration. That's what gives us inertia every year.
I think and Grant Harvey's with us. He's the head coach of UNM hockey, and they're 22-2, and they're going to Northern Arizona this week. Today, I think there's people going, wait, I don't understand. So what? You're not a sponsored team by UNM. You are not a varsity recognized team by UNM. It's a club team. You're playing in Division III, where you are ranked nationally 4th in the country. So explain to people, what exactly is UNM hockey? How are you affiliated with the Lobos? And because you're not a university sponsored varsity team.
So we're not in the athletic budget. So that they're really putting money towards NCAA teams. We don't have a female equivalent, so therefore we fall in the ACHA division with a lot of teams. University of Arizona, got Texas Tech. I mean, there's a lot of universities in our situation where we have formed the league. So the difficulty of raising money has always been there. We've had a lot of private donors and such, and the student union gives us money, but we fall outside of that. And sometimes I could consider it our saving grace that maybe why we didn't get chopped before. So we're a little bit sovereign with a lot less money, but we're still around, and we're grateful for that.
So how are you funded, Grant?
So the Student Senate gives us a part of their money for clubs. And then we do a lot of fundraising. We have a lot of private donors, and I do a golf tournament every summer. And currently, we have a GoFundMe because we are in a position where we have to go to 2 playoffs: our conference playoffs, and then we go to the national playoffs. And we can't avoid the conference playoffs. I've tried. They told me I'd get a forfeit, and I wouldn't be able to play national. So we've had to brace ourselves for 2 separate playoffs, February 11th through 13th in St. Louis, and again March 11th through the 17th in St. Louis, again on the national level. Though.
Now, Grant, how have you, when you see the other coaches around campus, when you see the support you're getting from UNM itself, how has that made you feel, and just the support that they're giving your club right now?
Yeah, I don't see them, right, because I don't get the office, but I get a lot of nice texts, and I get a lot of nice tweet support. So that's been great. I mean, the UNM coaches have respected what we're able to do with a small budget, and they're supportive. I mean, Paul Weir was incredibly supportive of what we were doing in the past. Yeah.
Hey, how is eligibility? I'm looking down your roster, and I'm seeing guys, and I'm starting doing the math, and you've got Curtis Brown and Nicholas Miniakis, who are 27 years old, born in 1993, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Right.
So explain eligibility, because I'm looking at, you got some younger guys, obviously, as well, who are 18, 19, 20 years old.
Your eligibility is you get 5 years in the ACHA. Whenever you want to start the clock is up to you. The reason why my team has always done so good is we're a conglomerate of youth and wisdom. And so the older players look at the younger players, get inspired to probably skate faster, and the younger players go, man, maybe we don't have to go 100 miles per hour everywhere we go. So this is that variety in age is also bodes well for what we have in our arsenal, which is high energy and a lot of wisdom. So to speak to, you get 5 years to answer your question.
Yeah, no, it's impressive what's going on. Grant Harvey's with us. He's the head coach of UNM hockey. I'm looking at how good, and I haven't seen your team, and now I really want to get out there next weekend, because I'm looking not just at your record, I'm looking at the scores, and you're winning games 11-0, 8-4, 6-2, 13-1, and your 2 losses are 1-goal losses. You've got a real chance to win a national championship here, don't you?
I really do. I mean, that wasn't something I put out there like it for marketing. I've seen our competition, and we play our Lobo hockey game. We can win this whole thing. Hockey's a tough sport, right? To go 22-2, that just doesn't happen unless you have a great program that buys in, and my players do. I mean, I give them so much credit. We pulled out some really behind in third period wins that gave us character test, and we've been passing. So yeah, those the only teams that beat us were Arkansas, and who's number 2 in the nation, and Air Force. We beat them 3 out of 4 times, lost by a goal. I'm fine with that, and there's some lessons to be learned when a team beats you by 1 goal, and that's okay. I mean, that's what I've done with that is major progress and momentous to the future games.
Grant, obviously over the last couple of weeks, things have been picking up, and you're seeing it on social media, what you guys have been doing. But the core fans that you have, the people that have been following your team, what do you have to say about those fans, and then now just kind of getting the recognition from everyone?
Our fan base was a grassroots style. We didn't do much marketing. These people have been there for us for a long time, and the new ones are just as devout. There'd be very rare times where someone comes to our hockey games and goes, "Okay, that was good. That's enough." They're fans for life, and that's for many reasons. I think our players, we're a hometown team. The players are great guys. We're out in the community. We do a lot of interaction with our fans. I always tell my players that you're not above, going to kids' birthday parties, just shaking hands. Like, meet the people that are out there in the lobby and say hi to them and have that exchange. And a lot of us do. And so we have a friendship with our fan base that's way outside of looking at them. We're across some glass. We know a lot of their names.
Grant, I think hockey fans are as passionate as there are. And you mentioned the Scorpions, and I miss the Scorpions. I was VP for the Scorpions for a year. I know that fan base intimately. And now you're sharing a building with the Ice Wolves, and I think what they're doing is really nice. What's the relationship that you've got with the Ice Wolves and with just to grow the hockey community here? Because there's people who love it and are jonesing for it.
Unfortunately, we didn't get to see too many of their games, but Phil Fox is their coach. He's a wonderful hockey player. He's a wonderful person. I'm cheering for them. I mean, when that building was revamped, the byproduct was nothing but a win for us. I mean, the building looks incredible. I'm proud to be playing at the Outpost. It's an incredible ice rink. So I think that the hockey culture is rising in this town because of them, because of us, and then when we're turning out great hockey players. So I mean, I hope in a perennial fashion we keep getting press, because I think we're going to continually rise in terms of our presence in the nation for hockey.
Yeah, I think what Stan Hubbard and his group did out there with that arena is insane. Beautiful. They've got a really, really, really beautiful facility out there. Just a few more minutes. Grant Harvey, the UNM hockey coach, is with us on the opening drive.
All right, Grant, if there's some people that are hearing this for the first time, they're excited, what's left for you? I know it's a road trip this weekend, but how can people follow you, see you to end the season?
Okay, so UNM Lobo Hockey is our website, and you can see our schedule and our stats and where we're headed. And there's also a Lobo UNM Hockey Facebook page where fans can ask questions or keep up with us, look at pictures. That would be the best way. We play Dallas Baptist on the 4th and 5th, our last home series. They're a really good team. We scheduled them as our last team on purpose to keep us sharp. So that should be a great game. I anticipate it being close, and they always play us tight.
All right, Jared Ronquillo's your leading scorer. He's leading you in points and goals and assists. A Minnesota guy. How do you get the guy from Minnesota to come down here? As somebody who's as good as him, how do you convince him to come down to New Mexico and be an engineering student, a grad student down here and play hockey down here?
That's my guy, man. I tell you, if I ever felt like close to having the son, that's my guy. My captain is just such an impressive kid. He makes good grades in engineering, and he's been my captain for 3 years now. He's side by side with me, every philanthropy, chomping at the bit to go in the community. I mean, I can't have picked a better version of a captain if I had to hand make them myself. I can't say enough about the kid. He was recruited by my dad, and my dad, my dad caught him a couple minutes before he's going to homecoming or whatever, and he said, yeah, well, we're going. Yeah, I'm heading to Mexico. That's it. And then kind of got off the phone and went to homecoming.
Right
so I was like, okay, well, we'll see if we got him. And then I see this little jet just zipping down the ice in our first trial. I go, okay, I think that's him. So it was weird. His mom was a libero for the Lobos back in the 80s. And then he said, I'll pay homage back to Mom's soul, and he came back here. It was completely bizarre, and I love it.
Is there a difference between a Minnesota kid and a New Mexico kid? Just because maybe they grew up playing on the lake when they were 4 years old, and a New Mexico kid maybe didn't play as much, or are you seeing New Mexico kids catch up to that?
I'll tell you, an ice rink's an ice rink anywhere, right? You get a 4-year-old out in New Mexico ice and a 4-year-old in Minnesota, some good coaching to the same player. So that's my sentiment as a Canadian also.
That's good.
And wherever you put the skates down, it doesn't really matter as long as there's some instruction and they get out there early. The culture's up there, but my dad had me out when I was 2 years old, so that's you could make a hockey player anywhere.
And it's in your blood ever since. All right, they'll be home next week. They're on the road today and tomorrow at Northern Arizona. Next Friday and Saturday, 8 o'clock versus...
No, fourth and fifth.
You're right, not next week. There's a week off. 4th and 5th. Sorry about that. 4th and 5th out at the Ice Post against Dallas Baptist. Go to lobohockey.com. You can get it all there. They are 22-2. They're ranked 3rd in the country. Lobo Hockey's making people proud. Grant, we'll do it again. Appreciate the conversation. Have a safe travels over to Flagstaff.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Be well. Grant Harvey, Lobo Hockey. That's good. Look, you know where I am on hockey. I Jones for it. Live hockey's great. Steph, you like live hockey?
I do like live hockey. I've only been whenever they used to be the Scorpions here,
miss it.
But it was fun.
Miss it. This is good stuff.
Yeah, and it's it's a club sport, but they're still representing New Mexico. They're wearing that Lobo logo on their chest, getting people's attention and doing something pretty cool.
And it matters. Oh, see, it matters. It's the opening drive on ProView Networks at 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
95.9 FM and AM 6.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Dreaming about that brand new Subaru? You know which one you want, but have you been able to really drive one yet? Whether you're online at fiestasubaru.com or ready to get out and drive the real thing, our Subarus are sanitized and ready to drive. There's never been a better time to fall in love with your new Subaru. So get driving now at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or online at fiestasubaru.com to schedule your real test drive.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
I prefer to do stuff online. I can find things much quicker, do the research I need, and have it shipped or waiting for me to pick up. The Shop by Payments option was perfect for me. I got online, clicked on Shop by Payments, put in my down payment and monthly budget, and the guessing was done. From laptop, I was able to nail down the bike I wanted, add a few customizations, and get an estimate on my trade-in.
Hi, I'm Joe with Everguard Roofing and Solar, and I'm proud to say I'm standing next to our University of New Mexico Lobo football quarterback, Terry Wilson. We at Everguard Roofing and Solar are active in our community, and we love the Lobos.
What I love about Everguard Roofing and Solar is their commitment to excellence, and that's what I'm all about. That's why I support this company, because they care about the people of New Mexico.
A hole in your roof or a whole new roof?
Go Lobos!
Everguard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced,
gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. There at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Sports Animal.
Well, it's kind of cool. Hockey last night, Avalanche beat the Kings. I know. 5 in a row for the Avs. Point in like their last 11 games or something.
Darcy Kemper finding his form, rolling in net for Avalanche.
Big win for the Avs last night. Beat the LA Kings. Kings are fine. Kings will be okay. They're in second place in the Pacific. 5 points behind those vaunted Vegas Golden Knights. Although it's bunching up and it's getting pretty tight. Opening drive, Jeff JJ. No A. Marie today. Steph is in for her. And Adrian's producing on the TV side. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. I've got a few emails that I'll get to you as well. Grady, good morning. How you doing?
Award-winning content that matters deliverers of the OD and the AM. What's happening?
Welcome to it.
You know, I kind of want to jump on that whole thing, the content that you guys, that sports matter. And I don't think the caller was saying that they didn't matter per se or with the Lobos, but I just want to reemphasize, I know you had some callers and emailers since. You know, to give you an example, a local village example, you know, the boys are headed to McCurdy today, which is in Espanola for those that don't know. Next week, they go to Raton, and we're in the same district as Clayton and Texaco. And I can guarantee you, when we go to those places, there will be people from the village that have no blood relations playing, going and supporting
Is that right?
the teams. And you know, it's something that really is important. And I'll say this, the chances of any of those boys, you know, going to the NBA or even going to the next level are as slim as they are for anybody else. But that's not what motivates people to support them. It's an important part of the community. And like the other day when I made that hot lava take about Magdalena, I'll tell you what. Oh, they promptly lost. Sorry about that, boys. They lost to La Rosa. But I'm telling you, the fact that, you know, Coach Mirabel and his son, Jordan Mirabel, that's a good program and a good player. But what makes me want to actually figure out and find out, okay, I can tell you kids that play on these teams across the state that you may not have heard of, and it has really nothing to do with getting on the radio, giving takes versus that kind of stuff is important, at least to me. You know, youth sports, celebrating these boys and girls, these young men and women, and their accomplishments, and their communities. You know, it's something that it's important. There's an entire subculture built around this, you know, statewide, region-wide, nationwide. So you don't always have to be competing for a national championship, or a district championship, a state championship, to really want to learn about and celebrate, you know, sports in the community.
I think that's right. I think it's all right. And look, keep it in perspective. And if it doesn't matter to you, that's cool. But it probably matters to somebody.
Absolutely. You know, and that you couldn't have really said it any better, because you know it does. There's a significant amount of people where it does matter, regardless of what they're playing for, regardless if they're going to the next level or not.
Yep. All right, man.
Appreciate the time.
Be well. Grady called us at 505-246-0610. You can as well. Bad Street's in. He said, I missed the post-game call-in show, JJ. You got guaranteed 3 calls. Rudy C. Lancer, the answer after a bottle of water or two, and someone with a new nickname for the host, which caused him to stiggle a little bit. Did you always get a new nickname?
No, Scott did, I bet.
Yeah. Yeah, Stigler probably always did. All right. Hondo says this is the year, Jeffy. This is the year the government has money burning a hole in her pocket. She's handing out Ben Franklin's like leftover Christmas candy. This is the year we need to siphon off some of that cash for a new state-of-the-art arena for replacement to old, dumpy, outdated University Stadium. You want an arena or a stadium? Yet I haven't heard anything. If not now, when? I'm not sure if he's calling for an arena or a stadium. Do you want a publicly funded arena or stadium? Then we just go, well, so would it be, let me ask you this. Do you think we'd get a different outcome if there was a publicly funded, we're never going to come to a number on this, whether it's a 12,000 or an 18,000 seat arena. Pick your spot, downtown, uptown. I mean, but do you think we'd get a different result on the ballot than we did for a stadium that was, whether the rhetoric was right or wrong, that was for United? Now they said, "Oh, multi-use." It was a soccer stadium. On the ballot was a soccer stadium for New Mexico United. If there was a ballot initiative or ballot up for vote on the ballot for an arena that would potentially, indoor concerts, hockey, potentially basketball, you could play a lot of things. Because I think this community needs an arena more than we need a stadium, and I think you agree with that. Do you think the public would react differently?
My initial reaction is no.
Okay, I kind of think yes.
But it's a different sell, and that's why I think it would be a lot closer.
Okay. Kind of leads into this email. Where are all the events? It's from Ken. He sends us a lot. Quote, Vegas is getting everything. End quote. 3-time New Mexico broadcaster of the year, Jeff Symbieta. Jeff, you remember from March 16th, 2020. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Ken was saying this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for New Mexico. Instead of closing the state, it should not only be open for business for all events, but actively trying to pick up the bones of other backwards states. Well, guess what Vegas did? And now they're cleaning up. While in New Mexico, are we ever going to see a rodeo or a powwow again? Can you imagine hearing live from Tingley Coliseum in Albuquerque the 2022 Grammy Awards? Ken, easy. No, I honestly, I cannot. I can't. Where are all the events? And it kind of leads into, do you have the facility for it? But in this case also, do you have the means for it? James says, reply to JJ Buck. Jeff, he said the Mountain West Conference needs to start watching out for the Fly Girls. Translation, the rest of the Mountain West Conference just isn't very good if Air Force is climbing the standings. Respond?
Okay. Like, some people are just never...
So a team that's traditionally bad can't be good.
Yeah, a team that's traditionally bad can't be good. And I've said that this is still just a one-bid league. But what Air Force is doing, they're turning people over 22 times a game. And they're beat teams that are good, like within the context of the Mountain West Conference. What we're seeing this season, what they did against Colorado State, what they did against Fresno State, who's coming in. Now, Fresno State, their overall record's not great. They're 7-9, but they still have two of the best players in the conference. Cavendish sisters are absolutely balling out. So I don't think it's necessarily as true as, everyone sucks, so that's why Air Force is playing so well. It's just they are more talented than they have been on the women's side.
And it can happen. Look, man, you can have a good class too. You can.
I think they have some experience that is still there. And for Air Force, another team that they don't get COVID years. They're 4 and done. Like, so they're not 5th year players. Not someone come back. It's you get your 4 and then you're on your Air Force.
A lot of transfers. Yeah.
So it's what they're doing this year is impressive.
Dan says, no, Ana Maria, Jeffrey, Juan Jose, y Gato Estefe. When someone disappears after returning from Vegas in 2022, either they finally hit the wall for a weekend of no sleep or they caught the Rona during their Sin City excursion. All right, Dan. Maybe she's a little tired. I don't know. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Keep them coming. Hondo just did. I'll get to that and you next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Pro football is a game.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for
Referees is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Dreaming about that brand new Subaru? You know which one you want, but have you been able to really drive one yet? Whether you're online at fiestasubaru.com or ready to get out and drive the real thing, our Subarus are sanitized and ready to drive. There's never been a better time to fall in love with your new Subaru. So get driving now at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or online at fiestasubaru.com to schedule your real test drive.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Dream style roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. There at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Jim Rome Show is up next at 10, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
By the way, your quarterback got fined $25,000 for his comments about the referees after the game. That would be Dak Prescott.
That's my quarterback.
That's my quarterback. Dallas Cowboys' Randy Gregory will have knee surgery prior to his free agency. He didn't miss a game because of the issue, but it was something that obviously bothered him for the majority of the season. He did miss a game because of COVID, and he missed 4 because of a calf strain, which had him on injured reserve. And now, as he's set to become an unrestricted free agent, he will have knee surgery. What do you think of the Dak $25,000? I mean, $25,000 for what does he make? $40 million? I mean, okay. Nobody likes to write a $25,000 check, I'm going to guess, no matter how much money you got. So it's not going to kill him. He's still going to be able to go to Bahamas if he wants to this weekend, or Barbados, or whatever island he wants to go to.
It's no surprise.
25. Does that feel like it fits
You
the
walk
time?
into that, you know, criticizing officials after a game, you're going to get a slip that says, "Hey, send us this money." Thing.
No. Here, yeah, and you pay for the shipping. Yeah. It was for his comments after the game where he said, people shouldn't throw stuff onto the field, and when he was told that they were throwing it at the officials, then good credit to them. Yeah, that was good. And then he backtracked. He got a couple of yucks out of the room, and Afterwards, when PR got a hold of him and said, you just can't say that, he backtracked it, and he got fined $25,000. 505-246-0610, going into a weekend in which you will see the Titans and the Bengals in the early game on Saturday. We'll have all the games here for you, correct? On the Sports Animal? Or do we? Are you on? No?
We do have basketball tomorrow afternoon.
You're on tomorrow afternoon. Basketball 1:30, Lobo women against Fresno State. It still says Colorado State on that thing. I knew that was
It's
wrong.
Fresno State.
Yeah. And then we get the NFL playoffs after that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then Lobo men's basketball against Wyoming will be over on News Radio KKOB. This is from Hondo. This is the year, Jeffy. I want both. And I'm not talking about a ballot issue with a new tax. I'm talking about paying outright with the mountain of existing George Washingtons. He wants a stadium and an arena. Okay. I'm going to guess you're in the minority on that, where you want the state to just go out and build a stadium and build an arena. But, I mean, I'm going to guess, and I'm thinking this is a fairly educated guess, that United people are talking to Santa Fe with all the extra money, with all the money that's up there, surplus, about a state funding. They failed at the city level. Yeah. They didn't get city level money, so they're up there looking to get it done at the state level
And they're
get a funded stadium.
And you see where they're taking steps forward. They are really starting to make Mesa del Sol their home.
Which is the right place in a large respect.
Actually building locker rooms out there to put together a training facility and start moving forward.
That's right. And doesn't that feel like it's a good spot for them?
Yes.
I think Mesa del Sol is growing. I think the infrastructure out there, I've seen the plans for another exit off of the highway, off of I-25. There's housing going out there. There's schools going out there. There's businesses. The community, the residential community out there is growing. It feels like that's a real, and you can get there, and you feel safe going there, don't you? Do you feel?
Yeah, it's not a. There's ways to get out there, and if you're looking at, everyone is used to it with already going to the concert, and it was kind of timing. All right, this is what it's going to take to get in and out. I feel like that's, what the idea that you brought up. The quote up for some reason, like pop-up stadium became such a
the pop-up was because
thing to say because they're like, oh, we're not going to do this. Well,
we're better than
not every I get the grand picture of it. Like there's a lot of work to be done, but you also look the majority of people that go to games aren't always just then scattering out and gonna have huge nightlife. Like the game is what you do, and then you're taking your family back home, or it's a Wednesday night game. Like I don't
care if it's a Saturday night game. If you're taking your family, or you're taking your kids to the bar.
The main focus has to be stadium, that product versus some utopia around it.
Yeah, I don't know what you want to be. Sometimes we have a lot of conversations about mixed messaging. Are you a family event? Are you a young adult event? I don't know. If you're taking your 10, 12, 15, 8-year-old to the game, I don't even care if it's Saturday night. After the game, are you going out to the bars? You kind of want to get the hell out of there and get home, right? Now, if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and afterwards, then I kind of want to go to the bar afterwards. So your point's not wrong. Look, the pop-up stadium conversation for me was, and I got no problem if they build a permanent out there. I think it's a good solution too. My suggestion on building the quote-unquote pop-up out there was because I know that's not their ultimate goal. I know that they wanted it to be downtown. Well, then go build a facility out there where when afterwards you'll still have a facility, a training facility, and where you can attract events to, or to which you can attract events. But it gives you the time to prove your longevity, to get the proposal, to get the initiative, to get the ballot issue where it makes sense for everybody. Because I told you from the beginning, and when Peter was sitting right here, and I think he admitted it, this felt rushed. That the stadium ballot, that being on the ballot last year, felt premature.
It's something you don't say no to.
No, I understand that. I
understand.
And the mayor was really, really big on that as part of his re-election campaign. But it felt like it was at least a year too early. It felt like it wasn't complete, that it was incomplete, that it was rushed. But I understand why they did it. I'm not angry at anybody. I just didn't. It felt incomplete. There were too many questions that everybody was sitting around and answering. They're trying to answer, and the answers that they were giving you in these information packets weren't washing with the public. And so I said, well, you go out there, you've got the land, you build the pop-up stadium, you've got a place to play that it's yours, you own, you get all the revenue, all the advertising, all the ticket, all the parking, it's yours. You build up your trough of capital if you want to build a stadium in town. And you build up your credibility and your longevity, because as much as United fans says, what kind of credibility they need to build up, Jeff, look what they've done in 3 years. No, it's amazing what they've done in 3 years. But it's been 3 years. And the cynic will tell you, well, their popularity waned over the last year and a half. Now, I would sit here and ask you to go through those numbers a little bit. Everybody's attendance waned during the COVID pandemic. Everybody's did. Isotopes, United, Lobo football, Lobo basketball, high school stuff, powwows, the balloon fiesta, the state fair. Everybody's attendance waned. So I think it's unfair, but it's part of the conversation, right? And so you're looking for a bigger sample size. So when I say credibility or longevity, I have no doubt United is going to be here and is going to be successful for a lot of years to come. But it just felt like it was a little early for it. And so the Mesa del Sol thing to me is you go out there, what would it cost? Like, I've heard in the area $10 million, right, to put something up, $8 to $10 million. I know you're not going to have all the great suites you want, everything you want, but you will have something that's nice, that is yours, that you control, and you control the revenue. And you can control your scheduling. You don't have to get off of a Saturday because the parking lots are full because there's going to be state championship basketball in the pit. As much as you want to tell me we moved it because we want the focus to be on the kids, the bottom line is you don't want to compete with that and what's going to be going on over there, and the mess it would be. You're sharing the parking lots and the traffic, and it just is what it is. Now, if you were at Mesa del Sol, you could play your opener on Saturday night when you wanted to, right? So all those little things you can control. So that's why I suggested that way, and then it gives you the time. And then if that's where you want to be, you could be having great success out there, and then you build the permanent stadium, or you build onto it, or you do whatever you want to do. But that, to me, was the interim solution. And it feels like that's where they're going.
It does. I'm wondering, like, where did that thought even come from this morning?
What thought? Someone
talking about an arena or a stadium.
He says, I'm talking about a football stadium, not United. They're toxic right now. If Michelle Lujan Grisham wins re-election, then Trevisani will get his payout in 2023. So he thinks that she can't do that this year because it's toxic, but because he contributes to her campaign, if she wins re-election, then next year she'll give him his stadium, which is a very common thought.
Could we support an arena? Like, could there be enough in said arena? Because best case scenario would be the pit renovation would have checked those boxes, but it didn't.
Yeah, but it did.
So we have a floor size, like the NCAA tournament should be in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
That is a huge swing and miss.
So I think to support it, you would want something that would be able to attract the NCAA tournament, whether basketball, but maybe women's basketball too, maybe volleyball, that Gladiators were playing, right? That you would re-attract a hockey team, Central Hockey, whatever it is, East Coast team to come back to Albuquerque. And I've heard rumblings that hockey's coming back. I keep hearing little rumblings out to Rio Rancho. And then would you be able to attract? I don't know that this is a G League town. I don't know what a G League town looks like. Honestly, I don't know that this is would be a good G League town. Would the Runners move over there? Could they move into something like that? Would they thrive, or is Rio Rancho the right spot for them? I'm not looking to steal stuff from Rio Rancho. I'm just, it's a fair question and a fair conversation. 505-246-0610. Let's take the final break of the work week. We'll come back and wrap it up with you on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Dreaming about that brand new Subaru? You know which one you want, but have you been able to really drive one yet? Whether you're online at FiestaSubaru.com or ready to get out and drive the real thing, our Subarus are sanitized and ready to drive. There's never been a better time to fall in love with your new Subaru. So get driving now at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or online at FiestaSubaru.com to schedule your real test drive.
Hi, I'm Joe with Everguard Roofing and Solar, and I'm proud to say I'm standing next to our University of New Mexico Lobo football quarterback, Terry Wilson. We at Everguard Roofing and Solar are active in our community, and we love the Lobos.
What I love about Everguard Roofing and Solar is their commitment to excellence, and that's what I'm all about. That's why I support this company, because they care about the people of New Mexico.
A hole in your roof or a whole new roof?
Go Lobos.
Everguard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I prefer to do stuff online. I can find things much quicker, do the research I need, and have it shipped or waiting for me to pick up. The Shop by Payments option was perfect for me. I got online, clicked on Shop by Payments, put in my down payment and monthly...
Social media is such a wonderful place. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Steph, Adrian. Yo! How often do you hear that? You got to hear that all the time. Yo! Your emails. Oh, I didn't even check the texter. You want me to check that? I'll bet that's rocking, too. It's probably telling me what a joke I am.
You're a joke.
How do I get onto that on your signed on? Can you get onto it? Because you're going to...
Jerk. You're a joke.
Yeah, since I'm signed on as JJ Buck today, I can't get on the texting machine. But see if there's anything there. I got football for you this weekend. We got women's basketball, Lobo women at home against Fresno State, and the Cavender sisters. What do you got?
$5 draft beer promotion tomorrow for the women's game.
Pardon me?
$5 draft beer. Applies to Bud Light and Michelob purchased at Stan J while supplies last.
Only at Stan J, only for those two products. But it's $5.
But it's $5.
All right. That's for what time does the women's game start?
2.
1:30 pregame with JJ Buck and Nikki Heckroth-Labato?
Yes.
You only do the home games with her, right?
Yes.
She going to Vegas with you?
She is.
Sweet.
I'm very excited about.
Yeah. Sweet.
Because there's always that one segment on the road I'm like, whew, all right. What are we going to do for this one pregame? And luckily, the conference is pretty cool. I like to catch up with the opposing radio announcers, get their thoughts, try to get an opposing coach interview if it works out. So
No doubt.
try to add that content for you on the pregame show.
And that's a big piece of what being able to be there for conference stuff. All right. Let me give you just kind of an idea what weather's going to be like for the NFL games over the weekend. First game is going to be Cincinnati at Tennessee. Nashville's going to be fine. 49 degrees will be the high. What time are they playing that game? Saturday, 4:30 in the afternoon. So 28 for a low. So mainly sunny with a few afternoon clouds, 10 to 15. So nothing too wild here. Tennessee, where the Bengals and Titans, it should be mild. No rain, no snow. So Joe Burrow can air it out, and that should be just fine. Niners at Packers. It's an 8:15 Eastern time start. Game time temperature, 13 degrees, winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. So this is Lambeau playoff fashion. Packers may take the field with snow already blanketing the area. Daytime temps are in the 20s. They're supposed to be in the teens by kickoff. Keep dropping as the night goes on. Wind could make it feel like they're below zero temperatures. Who does this benefit? I mean, does it benefit the Niners who are going to be ball control and run? I don't buy it. I just don't buy it because I think, I mean, as good as the Niner running game is, are you telling me that Aaron Jones and Corey Dillon aren't very good?
So you're saying it's just going to be cold?
I'm saying it's going to be cold and a bit windy. 5 to 10 is in a lot of wind, and the snow should
We just
stop.
watched the same exact thing in Buffalo, and what did Josh Allen?
Didn't I? I guess I just don't get where all this benefits the Niners because they run the ball.
Yes, the toes are going to be frozen, but the passing game is not going to be affected as long as it's not snowing sideways. And the 49ers are a challenging matchup, but when you look at the last time they went into Lambeau and won with Garoppolo, he completed 6 passes. All right, you can say, hey, this is what we're going to try to do. He's not winning this game completing only 6 passes. And so I'm going to say, all right, you're going to get enough out of Aaron Rodgers and then Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon.
Thank you. With the A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones thing. And I know I said Corey Dillon a second ago and I meant A.J. Dillon, and I apologize. That's my mistake. Corey Dillon was a running back from a different time. They run the football too, don't they? I mean, Aaron Jones become terrific, has he not?
They run the football. They pass the football just like everyone else.
I just don't get it. Did you see Matt LaFleur yesterday, or I think it was yesterday in a press conference, he was asked, Matt, what do you do when it's out there, you're practicing outside? I mean, do you do anything different in the cold? And he's like, what? Was it cold out there? Was it cold? He's like, well, yeah, I couldn't feel.
Why is this such a big? Why does it feel like such a big thing?
I don't know. I don't know.
As long as it's not a nor'easter. Like, it's just cold.
Well, LaFleur's like, was it cold out there? And the reporter's like, oh, yeah, no, I couldn't feel my fingers. He's like, no, I mean, I don't know.
Take some Viagra.
He says, I didn't realize. It felt like Green Bay was his answer. It felt like Green Bay.
Isn't that what we figured out?
Take the Viagra. It increases your blood flow.
Circulation.
It keeps you warm. And what was I telling Dr.
Welcome
Jim?
to that conversation, Steph.
Yeah, Steph. And that was a thing last week. There was a commentator, Bart Scott, on ESPN, who said, when I played, guys would take Viagra when it was cold because it increased the blood flow and got the blood flow to your extremities, and your hands and your feet weren't that cold. And so we checked in with a doctor, and the doctor said, "Yeah, it'll keep him warm in the arms of another man," is what the response was. And I'm like, okay, however it works. Rams at Buccaneers. It'll be nice in Tampa, 60 degrees, 10 to 15 mile an hour winds. They're going to play it. Of course, they're going to play it in the day too. So let's take the nicest weather and give them the day game because that makes sense. Mostly clear skies, temps above 50 into the evening. Everybody should be fine. So I'm not worried. Just go play football. But Bills at Chiefs, it's a 6:30 Eastern time games. Game time temp schedule to be 44 degrees for the high, 33 is a low. This seems easy too, right?
Shorts.
Could be a hell of a lot worse than
weather
Kansas City.
in KC.
Yeah. Freezing temps will be within reach later in the night, but I mean, not. It shouldn't be that bad. Mild winds, clear skies, air it out, boys. Go to work.
I'm all about other people being cold.
Well, it's kind of like pain, right? It's funny when another dude walks into a glass wall or another dude gets hit in the junk. Do you see that? It's funny. It's funny when somebody else.
Schadenfreude.
Yeah, 100%. It's funny when it happens.
That's
to
why the
someone
internet
else.
was created, to laugh at other people's pain.
Yeah. Somebody else gets hit in the junk, and you. I'm glad it's not me. It's how it is. Somebody else gets rocked on the football field. Oh yeah, that dude's just laying there convulsing, just shaking.
What do you use the internet for? To laugh at other people's pain.
The internet made our society better.
It's there.
Film at 11. We'll talk about that another day. I imagine.
Coming up next on News Radio KQB.
Yeah, here's a real issue in Tennessee, by the way. Titans are changing their tickets policy because too many Bengal fans are buying tickets. How far? It can't be far from Cincinnati to Nashville, right? It's got to be a quick, couple hour drive.
You know what we can do?
MapQuest it.
Go
on the internet. Go on the internet. It makes my life a lot better. I know. I can even ask like, "Hey Siri." Yeah, I could do that. Technology so much made the world so much better.
So I grew up, just before.
Yeah.
So I do remember maps and stuff, but my goodness.
No, you're right. That
directions with smartphones is amazing.
Yeah.
Because then you're just writing it down, and you're like, let's take a right on Loki Street, and then the 125 south. What? Oh,
I remember. You remember?
You remember?
Thanks to Grant Harvey, who's the UNM hockey coach. He was with us today. Adrian, great work this week. Short week, great week. Steph, thanks for getting up the last 2 days. Maybe we'll see you Monday, maybe not. Who knows?
I know. We'll see.
I know. All right.
Thank
have
you,
a
guys.
great weekend. I love having you here. Thank you. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Coward after that. Then you get 2 men on at 4. Big weekend for you, huh?
Huge.
All right. Enjoy it. Go kill it. JJ will be on tomorrow afternoon at 1:30. Be good to each other. Have a great, safe weekend. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll talk to you on Monday.
COVID is surging.
I prefer to do stuff online. I can find things much quicker, do the research I need, and have it shipped or waiting for me to pick up. The Shop by Payments option was perfect for me. I got online, clicked on Shop by Payments, put in my down payment and monthly budget, and the guessing was done. From the laptop, I was able to nail down the bike I wanted, add a few customizations, and get an estimate on my trade-in.
Dreaming about that brand new Subaru? You know which one you want, but have you been able to really drive one yet? Whether you're online at fiestasubaru.com or ready to get out and drive the real thing, our Subarus are sanitized and ready to drive. There's never been a better time to fall in love with your new Subaru. So get driving now at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas or online at fiestasubaru.com to schedule your real test drive.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school.
These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.